This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions, from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show's coverage of the NBA Summer League is brought to you by RedRecover.com. Learn more about red light therapy with videos, blog posts, and 40 years of medical research to treat pain, inflammation, and overall well-being. LiquorSplit.com. Miami's own online liquor store. Download it on iOS or Android apps. Get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split. Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines. The #1 volume Acura dealership in the Southeast United States 12 years in a row. Welcome to the Slomans.com NBA Summer League coverage, live from Las Vegas. Slomans Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
Hey, baby, ready to rock and roll on a beautiful Wednesday. Yes, sir. Second to last day of our broadcast out here, our Slomans Summer League coverage, which is a beautiful thing. We'll be out here for one more day, and then we leave late Thursday night. We'll be arriving early Friday morning. And then we'll be ready to rock and roll. And I don't know. We don't know about Friday's show. We'll see. You know, it's a long plane trip. I get home. I don't know. We'll see if I do a show or not. I don't know if Sean. I don't know. What we'll be kind of wasted by then with the whole trip. And also, we don't even know if we're gonna have any delays. You know what I mean? Although I've got the good luck charm with me because I had the delay on the way here. He did not. So he's the good luck charm. So now that I'm riding with him on the way back, then yeah, I am not going to get delayed since I'm with the good luck charm there. So it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, Sweet Baby Ray says, good morning. Oh, when are you planning to be back at Tortugas? Would love to catch a Finns game there and catch a brew or two. We are not planning to be out there for a Finns game right now, but that's an idea. That's an idea. I never thought about that. That would be actually a really cool thing to go out and broadcast out there for a Dolphins game. But that is not the plan at the moment. But there's no doubt that we would love to go back to Flagler Beach. That's for sure. We are going to go back for Bike Week. We might even go for Biketober week or whatever it's called over there in October. So we might even go for that instead of the Bike Week next year. Because next year, for sure, we're going to go for Bike Week. We'll be out there in Daytona Bike Week for sure. For sure. Got to do that, bro. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we are obviously here in Las Vegas. We've been covering the Summer League. If you've been following all of our coverage on Twitter and Instagram, and obviously here on YouTube, you can catch all the interviews, and obviously on our Twitter page, you can catch all of the little things, ins and outs, people that are there, and little things to kind of. If you're not here, we're going to at least give you a little taste of what it's like to be here. So make sure you follow us on Twitter at Big O Show. There and check it out also. So please follow us there, and don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button as you listen to the podcast, watch the videos on YouTube, all of those things. Please make sure you do all of that for us out there. So thank you all. I see Jay Gelfin is in the house, Devin Jordan in, Kyle Cockrell, Heat Fins, Hazel says, I usually listen to the show on podcast, but I'm a CTSW today. Smash the like button, everybody. There you go. I like it. Raging Dolphin Maniac, Ian from Brooklyn. Big Dan 305, Omar Lopez. The Donovan sweepstakes are back. I'll address that in a minute. Jamie Zorrilla got in first from San Jose, and Chapman went in second. How about that? There you go for the race for number one. And let's address a little bit of the basketball notes that are happening. Obviously, nothing so far with the Kevin Durant move. But now, we were talking about this. We had Tony Jones on, and he didn't feel that they were going to trade Donovan Mitchell, that they're going to build around him. And technically, they still are. But Ira ended up being right that he still thinks that they could move Donovan Mitchell. And guess what? They're willing to move Donovan Mitchell. Now, it sounds like they're willing to trade him only if the deal is, Rudy Gobert-like. That it's so ridiculous that you can't really, you can't turn it down. And it was already reported that the Heat made an offer for Donovan Mitchell, and Utah was not impressed by the offer, so they moved on. I got to tell you something. I like Donovan Mitchell a lot, but I'm not trading Bam and Tyler for him. I'll trade Bam and Tyler for Durant, because that'll bring you closer to a championship. Because as the Heat are put together, they're not a championship team. They need so many lucky breaks to happen for them, injuries and all kinds of stuff to happen to other teams for them to win a title with this team. And they're not better already because they lost PJ Tucker. So they lost the defense. And so that, and the leadership in that locker room, all of that, that's an enormous loss for the Miami Heat. Donovan Mitchell is a really good player. I like him. And I'd like to pair him up with Jimmy Butler, but I'm not giving up Bam and Tyler. Now, I'll give you Tyler and Duncan, because I can replace Duncan with Strus. And they just signed Caleb Martin to a contract. We talked to him yesterday. Press conference, by the way, from Caleb, talking about the contract is there on our YouTube page, and you can check it out there. But, if for me, it's right now it looks like they're not making any kind of move for Donovan because they were already turned down for their deal. And maybe they feel the same way I do, that, okay, well, we'll give you something for Donovan, but we're not going to give you the house like we would for Durant. And Donovan is not Durant. Now, the Durant window, as I mentioned the other day, is a small window. It's only a couple years. So you're going to sacrifice a lot for a short window, but that's Butler's window also, and Kyle Lowry's window. By the way, you saw a video of Kyle Lowry floating around that he's lost a bunch of weight and shooting lights out all over the place. So good for him that he's focused on that. But I like Donovan Mitchell. The question is, how far would you go for Donovan Mitchell? And I'm not going to any kind of extreme that includes Bam Adebayo also. Not for Mitchell. For Durant, in a heartbeat. For Mitchell, I'll give you Tyler Hero. I'll give you Duncan Robinson. Now, here's the problem I have with that trade. I think Tyler Hero is going to tell Utah, yeah, you guys can trade for me, but I'm not signing with you guys. I'm not going to sign a long-term deal. Tyler Hero doesn't look to me like the kind of kid that's going to be happy in Utah. Oh, and his wife, I don't see her as a Utah person either. So that's one thing that would probably hurt that trade, because it's not like you have any control. You can't what's that called? The franchise tag. They don't have that in the NBA. So yeah, you have that first year restricted, but he's not going to have that because that's not who he is. Caleb had that kind of stuff. Some of those other guys can, but he's going to get outright, either you pick up his option or not, and that's the only extension you get. And after that, he becomes a free agent. So Tyler Hero could end up screwing up that trade also, because I think he'll tell Utah, Yeah, thanks for the interest. I'm flattered, but I just want you guys to know that when my contract is up, I'm leaving. He does not have Utah swag. Now, Duncan Robinson, I think Duncan Robinson can live just fine in Utah. He looks like the kind of kid that, fits a place like Utah. Tyler wants Miami. Tyler wants LA. Tyler wants New York. Tyler's going to want something Atlanta. Tyler's going to want something that's got a little pizzazz, man. A little sauce, maybe a little Dallas, something, but it's got to be a city that's got something to it. Sorry, Utah fans out there. I nothing wrong with the state, nothing wrong with the people, nothing wrong, but it's kind of a plain Jane type of place. And I think some of these young cats, they don't want to spend their lives there. I'm sorry. I just got to be honest. It's just the way it is. Lots of cities are like that, unfortunately. They're not going to want to spend their time in Detroit. They don't want to go to Minnesota. So it's not just, they don't want to go to Indiana. And I go to the Combine all the time. Not a bad town. But average NBA players not going to want to spend their careers there. The ones that want a nightlife, the ones that want to have some fun, they're going to want to go to cities that are a lot more lively. And Salt Lake, there's nothing lively about Salt Lake. That's a retirement place, basically. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way those guys look at it. Those NBAers look at it like, yeah, that's a place where old farts go like me to go relax and hang out. That's what it is. Not really the entertainment destination. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see Tyler also saying to Utah, yeah, no, I'm also willing to sign an extension here. Yeah, just give me the max. I'll be fine. He's going to get the max wherever he goes. I mean, think about this. Zion Williamson, who's a lazy slob, an incredibly talented lazy slob, but they gave him a max and he hadn't done anything. The only thing he's proven is that he's an incredibly talented lazy slob. That's it. That's the only thing he's proven, and they had to give him the contract. Because they had no choice, because if the fat, lazy slob all of a sudden decides to not be a fat, lazy slob anymore and try to play, then he could be a pretty damn good player. So they had to take that chance. That's kind of the way it is. So Tyler's going to get his max no matter what. Will he want to stay with Utah? I don't think so. My gut tells me that Tyler is not the Utah type. So the Donovan Mitchell trade will be even that much harder to make in the end. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I just don't. The way they phrased it, it's almost like, well, you've got to be a really stupid team to make the deal for Donovan, because you're going to give up so much that, yeah, he's a heck of a player, but he's not worth what you gave up. Rudy Gobert is a hell of a defensive center, not worth what Minnesota gave up. Stupid trade by Minnesota's part. But you're Minnesota. You don't have many options. Rudy Gobert is a goober. Yeah, he'll stay in Minnesota. There's not a lot of guys that are going to be happy being in Minnesota. But Rudy Gobert can be happy in Minnesota. It's not a big deal for him. He doesn't have a lot of options. But some of these kids that have options, they're not going to want to stay in these certain cities. So the Donovan Mitchell trade, I don't think ends up happening for the Miami Heat when it's all said and done. Rosendo is in, wishing you a day full of joyous moments or joyful moments. 6193, Cigar Social is in. NorCal is in. Daniel Marquez, Chad, Duke Tomlinson, Alex Palenzuela, Lazy Williamson. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Steve says there's some talk up here in Boston, Mitchell for Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard. Brown's a bit of a sack, so I wouldn't be in favor of that trade. That trade makes no sense whatsoever. Would you trade Donovan Mitchell for Jaylen Brown? I think Jaylen Brown's a better player than Donovan Mitchell. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. I don't know who's talking about that, but I think no, I wouldn't do that deal at all. Steve Allen is in. Diego Souza also in. Thank you all. Don't forget, please, while you're all chiming in, please smash the hell out of the like button too at the same time as you're listening to the podcast. Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, by the way, is celebrating their 14th anniversary. They're amazing, man. Really, they have 12 years in a row. They've been the number one volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. That's absolutely kicking ass. It's a place that when you walk onto the lot, they've got hundreds of cars always. They've got an incredible selection of new and certified pre-owned vehicles. That way, as a customer, even in some of these trying times, you're going to be able to have a selection out there, okay? That's why you want to go to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75. And Pines, and the new Integra is absolutely sharp. $369 a month. And I said new because, well, even the 2022s are new, but this one is 2023. They're already rolling in for the Integra, so go check it out. $369 a month. That's a hell of a lease feature. The TLX Technology Package 2022, they've got it at $479 a month, folks. Get on down there, check it out. They've got certified pre-owned vehicles with financing as low as 0.99% financing on the RDX, MDX, ILX, and TLX. So get on down there, tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Appreciate it all out there as always. What else do we have here? Oh, the other thing that I was thinking of with this whole, the opposite side of the Donovan Mitchell thing that some of you will not care about. But if you're a fan of a bad team or a team that doesn't have great ownership, you're gonna relate to this. It's got to suck to be a Jazz fan. If I'm a Jazz fan, why would I buy season tickets for that piece of shit? Why would I support that ownership group? Seriously. Oh, by the way, pull up the Dwyane Wade cut for me there also. Okay, let me tell you something. That what the Utah Jazz are doing to their fans is a disgrace. Every Utah Jazz fan should relinquish their tickets, should not ever go to that game, to that franchise again until they show you a real commitment. So what are you going to do? So you're going to get rid of Gobert and Mitchell to do what? To rebuild? And now they've got to wait 4 or 5 years. What are you, the Miami Marlins? Is that what you're doing? Because that's what I relate to as the Marlins. You develop stars and then get rid of them? Why? Because you don't have the balls as an ownership group to complete the team and try to win? Why? Because you as an organization committed to Gobert and then ruined the relationship with Donovan Mitchell, and now you scared off your head coach, who's a pretty damn good coach, but he said, enough's enough. I got to get out of here. I'm just wondering if you're a Utah Jazz fan, okay? I know I got Eric out there in the Utah area, but I don't know how many Utah fans we've got watching and listening and all of that are actual Jazz fans. Why would you be a Jazz fan now? This is insulting to any sports fan. If your team just wants to dump their stars and go from being a good team, a playoff team, to being nothing because you want to collect a whole bunch of picks. And I get it, you're Utah. You can't bring in free agents. So I guess the fishnet approach is now the idea. Get a whole bunch of picks for Donovan, get a whole bunch of picks for Gobert, and now we've got a ton of picks over the next several years. So we'll pick several first rounders over the next few years so we can load up our team and we can keep the guys since we can't trade for them and sign them in free agency. But who's to say you're going to hit on Donovan Mitchell again? Who's to say you're going to find another Karl Malone or a John Stockton? My God, it's not like they've got all – after those teams, They weren't that good after that. And now you got Mitchell. You got a terrific, a guy that has embraced Utah, a guy that embraced Salt Lake, a guy that was showing up at fans' house randomly. You remember when Donovan Mitchell was doing that a couple of years ago? So here's a guy that embraced your town, and this is how you reward him. So I'm just wondering, as Jazz fans out there, why would you reward that ownership group with your money? Why would you reward them with your ass in their seats? Why would you buy their beer? Why would you pay for their parking? Why would you believe in anything that they're doing when they had already stars and they weren't committed? And now Donovan Mitchell possibly on the trading block, and here's one of your part owners in Dwyane Wade. Here's a youngster asking Dwyane Wade if he's going to bring Donovan Mitchell to Miami. And Dwyane Wade's answer is yes. Now, let me play the video for you just in case you can't hear it clearly. That's what went on, but let's play the video.
You want to bring Donovan to Miami? Thank you, man. You want to bring Donovan to Miami?
Okay, so
if he bring Donovan to Miami?
Okay, wait a minute. Thank you, man. Now, he could have been caught up in the moment. He's just signing the ball. There's noise, and he was going to say yeah to anything he asked. And he wasn't, it's what you do with your wife, your kids, your husband, your boss. Sometimes you're listening, but you're not paying attention. And you just, yeah. That happens to everybody, right? And maybe that was that moment there, or it's a slip, a Freudian slip, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't know. It's one of those. I've always asked, is he a double agent for Miami? And that was double agent talk right there. Except, Dwyane, you're not supposed to tell anybody publicly about that. Oh, man. So I'm just saying, if you're a Jazz fan, that place is a disaster. You're trading away your stars. You're not going to be competitive for years to come. If you are, one of your owners is already saying that they're trading Donovan Mitchell to the Miami Heat accidentally. It's just a complete disaster, man. And I got to say, it's the same thing I said about Marlins fans with Jeffrey Loria. You were part of the problem. Sorry, if you were paying tickets to see the Marlins during the Jeffrey Loria run, you're a cancer. I don't give a shit how much you love baseball, but you were part of the problem in keeping that loser around. Sorry, but you're also a loser for buying tickets and supporting Jeffrey Loria. I don't care how much you like baseball. People like this, you got to send them a message. And the ownership group for the Jazz, if I'm a Jazz fan, I would ban that team. I wouldn't give them $1. And that's what some of you here in South Florida, you failed miserably. You kept going back to that stadium, no matter. That guy was not ever committed to winning. He was committed to stealing money and building that stadium because the idiots in Miami that run our town are just as corrupt and just pathetic as Loria is. And then you guys showing up and buying the tickets, it's even more pathetic, actually. You know what I mean? It's like listening to Herschel Walker, who's a stupid mother effer. I mean, really. And he's running for office. You know who's even dumber? The person that actually votes for him. You're the stupidest mother effer I've ever met in my life. And you that bought tickets during Loria's run, you're a freaking cancer. You help keep that clown around longer. So, supporting bad owners is not a smart thing to do as a fan. I don't care how much you like football, baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey. I don't care. If your owner has no commitment to winning and you're going to the games, you're part of the problem. And if you're a Jazz fan and you go to the games next year, you're telling the owner, not a problem, dude. I'm still going to pay because I'm a sucker, I'm an idiot, and I'll buy anything. Cubs fans did this for many years. The Tribune Company was never committed. They never got it done. And yet the idiots kept filling up that stadium. Cubs fans for many years, the dumbest consumers I have ever seen in my life. You knew they weren't committed. You knew they weren't going to try to win. And yet you still were going to the games. Like, what kind of morons are you? So, same thing as the Jazz fans now. You want to go support that? You're part of the problem. You want to support Loria? You're part of the problem. While Loria was going on, I said it many, many times over the years. No one should go to that game. That stadium should be empty every night. That would send a signal to Major League Baseball that would be catastrophic. But if you keep going to the games, what are you going to do? You know? So some of you are part of the problem. You support bad owners, you're part of the problem. That's all. So, Jazz fans, you want to keep having this kind of ownership group? Keep going to the games, you losers. Go ahead. Just like we had the Marlins fans here that kept paying tickets while Jeffrey Loria kept stealing their money. And the fools kept buying tickets over and over and over again, which was just amazing to me. Oh, I got to go see this player, that player. Oh, screw that, dude. Watch it on television. Don't go give that clown any money. But you did it. So you were part of the problem. Jazz fans, let's see if you got some balls. I doubt it because in general, fans don't have balls. They talk a lot of crap, but they don't have balls. Alex says, guilty there. I bought throughout the whole Loria era. I apologize. Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that you bought Marlins tickets, Alex. I love you, but it's disgusting that you supported that guy. You know? This summer's games are fun to watch. Some people are missing out. Who, the Marlins? Yeah, the Marlins, they just need to spend some money. Oh, the Summer League. Yeah, they are fun too. I do enjoy. But I've said this for the last few years now. I've become a Summer League fan. I love watching the Summer League. But then again, the Heat is always trying to win. So it's always fun because they're trying to find people. Isaiah says, morning, Big O. Danny Ainge is trying to repeat the same process he did in Boston when he acquired Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Yeah, I get it. But we'll see. And by the way, did he win anything with those guys? No. Have they won anything yet? No. But I give them credit. This year they busted through finally. Under Ainge, they did not bust through. Okay? And under Ainge, the only reason he has one title, it's because Kevin McHale gave him Kevin Garnett for no reason at all and for nothing. That's the only reason he has one title. So out of all those picks and all those trades and everything he did, the only way he won a title was to go and put together a big three. That's it. He had one, and then he went and got Ray Allen and got Kevin Garnett and completed his big three and won his one title. And that's it. And I don't think he's the one that drafted Paul Pierce, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he became general manager and Paul Pierce was already in place. I'm like 1,000% sure on that. Not 99, 1,000. So, you know what I mean? After all that talk, so let's not make it sound like Danny Ainge is this guy that builds championship teams. Okay? He built one, and that's it. And it wasn't with all the draft picks. Big O, let's play a game. I'm going to give you lyrics, and you try to guess what song they are from. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where as a child I'd hide. Yes, that is Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. We're not winning a cup for a while. Oh, you talk about hockey? Well, we'll get to that one in the show too. We got to talk about that because Mason Marchment now. That report by Darren Dreger was disappointing as hell. We'll get to that in a little bit. Speaking of the Marlins, by the way, congratulations to Garrett Cooper. He becomes the third Marlin All-Star. That's not bad, man. You think about this front office and 3 Marlin All-Stars. That's pretty cool. 2 of them you drafted because Cooper's a free agent, right? He's like 31 or something. They picked him up as a free agent, but the other 2 you drafted. So it's pretty cool that, 2 of them come from your farm system, and then Cooper is the free agent pickup. Harper ends up getting a fractured thumb, so Cooper gets the call. He's had a good year, man. He's batted .299. Yesterday they lost to the Pirates 3-2, but it shows that if you just spend a little bit more and you go get a couple of bats, this team could actually make some noise and challenge for a wild card spot. But it can't be, the money can't be for Asvael Garcia or whatever the hell that is. You know what I'm saying? It can't be that. You got it. You got to get better free agents than Garcia. I mean, come on, dude. Those are the things that kind of frustrate you because you have enough starting pitching. Your bullpen's decent. Maybe you need another arm in there or 2, but it's not bad. It's not a bad bullpen. It's a decent bullpen. But if you get a couple bats, oh my God, this team could actually challenge people. You get health, get Jazz back, get a healthy Jazz going. I love it, man. I love it. Do me a favor, answer that because apparently that might be a delivery or something. Anyway, so I just that's the kind of the frustrating part about watching the Marlins. You get a third All-Star. You're hovering around 500. You're just a couple of games under 500. It's not like you're far away. And you've got a bunch of young guys. And I know they've got more in the minors. But what I don't want to see from the Marlins, and this is what I've talked about for a couple of years now since they took over, is what kind of a team are you going to be? That's the question. What type of team are you going to be? Are you going to be the team that can spend a bunch like the Yankees and the Dodgers? No, we know that. Okay, so then there's the other 2 teams that are left. So are you going to be the team that can spend somewhere in the middle and you can at least, have a core of guys, 2, 3, 4 guys that you pay a lot, you pay good money for, they're your core guys, and then you rotate the rest out around where you do a good job of adding some free agents, you do a good job of adding different, talent around them, minor leaguers, that kind of stuff, and keep it going. And you can at least challenge for wild cards, make some noise in the playoffs if you have the right mix of young guys with the leaders overall, or or you do this instead. What was the 03 Marlins and the Royals when they won? What was it? 5, 6, 7 years ago? You remember exactly? Something like that, right? Are you just trying to catch lightning in a bottle? Where all you end up drafting a whole bunch of young guys, you develop them, and they all, like in 1 year, play at a high level, and you just make the best of it, and everything falls into place like it did in 03, like it did for the Royals, and then you just break everything up because you can't pay for the guys. that kind of shit, you want to wait for that. That's just luck. You know, I don't think it'll ever happen again to the Marlins. The fact that it happened once in your lifetime is more than enough. That's the problem. All right, let's take a quick break. Give Wolf a heads up there, and we will come back on the other side. If you want to get in, the text line, 855-912-1056, the Welt and Realm text line, 855-912-1056 in the Welt and Realm text line. That's a 24-hour talk show, that text line. So whenever you're listening to the podcast, day, nights, weekends, send me a text. Something you like, something I said, you hate something I said, go ahead. You got a question, whatever it's about, sports, your love life, crypto, whatever it is. Not the love life stuff. But anyway, whatever it is, just, send it in there at 855-912-1056, the Welt and Realm text line. Let's take a break. Back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Give your dog the same therapy that many veterinarians use today, but at a fraction of the cost. Pads are available in 3 sizes and come with attachment straps, clips, and an easy-to-use manual. Red Recover can help your dog with arthritic conditions, muscle soreness, intervertebral disc disease, ACL rehabilitation, performance, aging, and general health and happiness. You simply place the pad over the desired area and allow our proprietary Tri-Light therapeutic wrap to penetrate deep into the tissue where a number of healing parameters will be stimulated. When starting treatment, apply for 10 to 15 minutes daily and lessen the application time as needed for best results. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolfe. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolfe.
Oh, what's going on, man?
Hey, baby. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? You doing good?
I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm in Vegas. What can I tell you?
Yeah. It's day 4? Day 4 out there?
Day 4. I got here on Tuesday night. Wednesday, really. So
okay, so you're just fresh there.
It's a week. It's a week.
Oh, so this, I was like, okay, so yeah.
A week.
Vegas. Wow. I'm surprised you still have your voice.
Oh no, but I take care of that, dude. No.
You need the voice. That's the business maker, right? You can't.
Dude. Yeah. Even I went to 3 Morrissey concerts last week on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah,
and I made sure I did not scream or or sing a ton or something, just a little bit, just because I was so into it. But I'm always conscious of that, bro. I'm always conscious. That's why I take my Nature B every day because I try to, because I don't even want a cold. Because doing radio 3-4 hours a day with a cold, oh man, that is rough. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. You've had to. I'm sure you've had to power through reports and things like that with a cold. Can you imagine talking 3-4 straight hours?
It's different having to suck it up for
a segment
or 2-minute blocks, a few times during the show versus continual. I could take a break. I can recalibrate myself. You can't really do that on radio.
I'm with you there. So let me ask you, let's get into a little Dolphins talk with the Tyreek podcast. He's been getting a little heat because, I mean, what he was saying wasn't anything out of the ordinary. That, hey, man, normally they give you 2-3 years to prove it, and that's where Tua's at now and all that stuff. And so, people are either being critical of him that he shouldn't have brought that up and that all you're doing is putting more pressure on Tua and those kind of things. How did you view? I know what he was trying to say. I don't know if it was a good idea to necessarily talk about that, because it's not really his place. He's not the player. It's Tua is the one that should be addressing anything along those lines. What'd you think about that?
So it's interesting, this whole podcast deal, because obviously Tyreek's new in this realm, and he's learning that, one, everything you're saying can be used as a headline, as something that drives content. So that's one thing that he's learning, but he's also learning that's the way you get people to listen to your podcast, to get these headlines driven things and be able to generate traffic that wouldn't normally get there. And so I think he enjoys the intention, but he also is trying to have it both ways. When I heard him say that, I'm thinking that he's saying what we all believe, that we know the pressure nationally, what people are going to think about him, what the teams think about him is going to depend on what he does year 3. We know how it works. So I think he's saying something that I think we believe is a fact, but him saying it comes out differently because he's the receiver. He's a teammate. He's the guy who is quote unquote supposed to say, oh no, Tua needs to get as much time as he should. But the reality, that's not the truth. If Tua plays bad this year, then we're going to have a very real conversation about replacing Tua next offseason. That's just the reality of it. So
the head coach has to worry about his job. So,
right. Yeah. I think that's the reality of the situation. So I didn't have any issue with him saying it. The problem he runs into is that active players typically don't say what we say in the media. And that's one of the sticky spots when you see current players getting into the podcast realm. They get into situations where we as media are comfortable, kind of waddling in, but players may not be as much. So it's going to be interesting to see how this evolves, especially during the season. If Tua has a bad game one day and he comes on the podcast and is asked about it, how comfortable is he saying certain things? I'm interested to see how it all evolves. But I didn't have any issue with it, but I knew it was going to become a big topic once he said it.
Yeah. I understand where he was going with it. It's kind of like, LeBron also is kind of under some heat with the whole Brandy Chastain thing that he was talking. No, not Chastain. What is it?
Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner. Why am I thinking the soccer girl? Anyways, Brittany Griner, and he was talking about the whole, that she must not think her country loves her or whatever. She may not want to even come back or whatever. And I get what he was trying to say and all of that, because then he had to come back and say, I'm not talking about our country that way. It's just putting yourself in her position, all that kind of stuff. So it's something that's going to be misunderstood, even though some of us may understand what you're trying to say. Those that don't want to understand what you're trying to say are going to spin it to however the hell they want to do it. And that's what I think Tyreek is going to have to deal with from here on out. And
I mean,
and I don't know, and is he going to be smart enough to understand that so he can maneuver around it? That's the question.
So one thing I'm learning about Tyreek, which I enjoy as a media member, I don't know if the Dolphins PR staff loves it, but Tyreek will say what's on his mind, and he will make stories. There's not a lot of personalities on this Dolphins team that can be a little bit unfiltered, and Tyreek is unfiltered in a way that he will say what's on his mind, and then if he has to come back and clean it up, he will.
He has a Jimmy Butler filter.
He does have a Jimmy Butler filter. And so sometimes he intentionally means to say these things and he knows what it's going to do. And sometimes he doesn't know what it's going to do, but he's like, oh, well, I said it. Or, why are they reacting that way? So because of that, I think we're going to have a lot more of these moments throughout the year where it's like, Tyreek said this. It became a main topic on national TV. What do we think about it? What do we think he meant? What do we think the teammates think about it? And so I think that's part of the Tyreek Hill experience. For Dolphin fans who want to stay under the radar, that all went out of the window when you trade for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's not an under the radar player. He loves the attention. I think he thrives on it. And so you'll see more situations where I think he'll say things that bring attention to him and bring attention to the team. And so whether or not that helps to, whether or not that brings more attention on him, we're going to see. But I think Tyreek Hill is not going to change who he is.
Oh, no, there's no doubt. Now, although the public may change what he is because it all depends on the kind of heat he gets for certain things that he says.
Right.
And he hasn't had to deal with that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we'll see if he, because sometimes you may slip up and say something and then you get some serious heat and then you're like, okay, I've learned my lesson here. Yeah, I don't need this. I don't need this in my life. And so he's got to, we'll see how that turns out. But that's one that is definitely one to watch because he's definitely stirring it up in camp. All right. And on the NFL side, so Tyreek leaves Kansas City. They didn't want to pay him the kind of money that he was looking for after the Devontae Adams deal. Really jacked it up. So now they have an Orlando Browns situation. And first of all, when you trade for a guy like that, you should be agreeing to a contract at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so now you find yourself in a position where you tagged him. He doesn't want to be tagged. He wants to be paid like a left tackle. And you're willing only to pay him like a right tackle.
Yep.
And so all of a sudden now, are the Chiefs cheap?
I don't think the Chiefs are cheap, but they're running into things that winning teams run into. You can't pay everybody. And so you have to value what everything's going to come up.
But
and
that's one guy you got to pay.
Right. You do.
Did you watch Mahomes in the Super Bowl 2 years ago? They treated him like a plant.
But you got to remember the I won't even call it a punishment, but the punishment of having a Patrick Mahomes is you're paying Patrick Mahomes $50 million a year. So where other quarterbacks may be taking 30 or 20, or in Tua's case, 5 or 6, you got Mahomes making 50. And so that's a $45 million difference, $43 million difference between Mahomes and Tua. That's $43 million they can spend 25 or 30 on Tyreek Hill, and then a 13 to 15 on Tyron Armstead. And now you got a star receiver, a star left tackle, and your quarterback. Whereas the Chiefs, that same amount of money can only afford the quarterback. And so I think that's what they're running into. They've already got a lot of money tied up in that defense. The defensive lineman, they got Chris Jones there.
That was my follow-up.
And so maybe they haven't picked the right guys. Maybe they only should have paid one of those defensive tackles and not two.
That was going to be my follow-up. Because, dude, you saw what happened 2 years ago with Mahomes. How do you protect your $50 million quarterback? You don't protect him with a $3 million tackle, dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want to pay your quarterback, well, damn it, you better pay your offensive line. And in today's NFL, dude, you can't spend a ton of money on your defense like that anymore.
Yeah.
That's just not the way it goes. The way you got to balance things out. If you got to pay for your quarterback, then you better take care of him with the offensive line. They better be high draft picks, or you better trade for a guy, or you better sign a free agent. Well,
especially like a guy like Mahomes, to be honest, because a lot of his game is creating and playmaking and holding on to the ball for 3, 4, 5 seconds. And a lot of that, you need good tackle play because Mahomes might run outside the right tackle and scramble around a little bit. If your tackle's getting busted open in a second or a second and a half, then that kills a lot of that magic. And I think you said something on the money when we first started this question. The Chiefs' mistake is not paying the guy when you first get him. If you're trading clear assets for a guy, you got to pay him. That's something that the Texans made the mistake with Laramie Tunsil. They made the big trade for the Dolphins, and I think his price might have been 18.
He had him by the balls.
And Laramie's like, you just gave up the whole fort. I'm going to get y'all for the whole fort. You know, It is what it is. I'm going to get my bag. And I think he got, 20, 22, 23, 24, somewhere around that range.
That's what he's looking for. That's what he's looking for.
Now Orlando's saying, hey, what y'all going to do? Y'all traded from me from the Baltimore Ravens. Y'all need an offensive tackle. I seen the other offensive tackles y'all have on this roster. Y'all need me. So what are we going to do? 25 or what? I'm not showing up. And so I'm a big player leverage guy. This is when the players get all the leverage when a team trades for them and they let them, wait a year or play a year without paying them. And now it's time to come up and the price is going to be maximum. I'm not taking anything less.
And let me add a caveat to all of this. Here's where the problem could get compounded.
Yep.
So all of a sudden now you've got a bitterness in this deal. He's holding out for training camp. Oh my God, it rolls into the preseason. Oh my God, it rolls into the regular season. Now you sign him late. Now he's out of shape. Now you need him to play. What ends up happening? They break down. They suffer injuries because you didn't give him proper training camp. You didn't get the big fella ready. Now you hurried up the process because your offensive line is dog shit without him.
Right.
And you need him to protect your $50 million quarterback. And now you rush the process. You put him in there. He's physically not ready to go. It's not that he can't play. He's just not physically ready. And then he's trying to play at a high level and he ends up getting injured. And then you set yourself back this season. So to me, it all comes down to trade day. On trade day, you should have agreed to a contract and then it was over. And then that way what money you're working with in the offseason, but you've got your tackle, straightened out. I wonder if they traded for him and they still had their own question marks.
Yeah. That's a good point. Because remember, he has some weight, like with a lot of offensive linemen, weight questions.
Yeah.
He's a right tackle, like you said. Is he fast enough? He's quick enough. You want to see, but if you're trading that amount of capital that they traded, you got to know. You got to know and be able to pay the dude. So they did it to themselves, and now they're going to have to figure it out. I think they do get something done eventually, but maybe he sits out for a little bit before they get something done. And he technically hasn't signed his tag yet. So the NFL changed.
No. I think he signed his tag. That's why he can't hold out.
No,
right?
he
hasn't signed. That's why he can't hold out. Exactly.
He hasn't signed a tag. So because of that, he can't technically be fined. And so the rule is if you're under contract, you can't hold out or they'll fine you every day. So he hasn't signed a contract. So they technically he can keep not showing up and not get fined and show up, like you said, week 1, week 2, week 3, whenever, and say, hey, I'm here. You're going to take another 3 weeks to get in shape. And, by the middle of the season is when you're going to be ready. So, the Chiefs did this themselves.
All right, you got it. By the way, Rosendo's asking me, can you talk about Tyreek and Waddle? My question is, how important Sony Michel, Alex Ingold, and Cedric Wilson's role as playmakers this year makes us more dangerous as a team?
Okay. I think
there's a lot of shit.
There is a lot there.
You mixed up Sony Michel, Alex Ingold, and Cedric Wilson. So one's a slot player, one's the fullback, one's the running back, all of that. So you're leaving out Chase. Chase could take away time from Sony Michel, and Mostert would take away time from Sony Michel because they're all going to be used. It'll be a combination of backs. It's not going to. Sony Michel is so injury prone, Rosendo. Yep. You cannot make him a bell cow like you're making him there.
Right.
It's not one running back. It's 4 running backs. It's 3 running backs and a fullback that will be carrying the ball for the Dolphins.
And what I was going to there, which is kind of what you piggyback there, is one thing I'm really interested to see is how they they figure out this running game and the balance between these guys. I'm going to get a lot of fantasy football folks leading up, like who should I draft? Who's going to be the lead back?
Don't touch it.
And I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch the Dolphins backfield, but we're going to learn a lot in training camp. Yeah. I don't know if Raheem Mostert's going to be ready for the start of camp. It may be sometime closer to August, starts closer to the start of the season. But you're going to see Chase out there with Sony Michel. I think each of them are going to have roles, and you're going to see a lot of hot hand football. So what Sony Michel adds is he adds a power guy who can run inside the tackles. Exactly. Which you always need in a San Francisco-based wide zone scheme. A lot of it's going to be running outside. A lot of it's going to be offensive line pulling. And so you're going to be able to have a Chase Edmonds who does that, or Raheem Mostert. But then sometimes you're going to have guys so spread out that all of a sudden you just need somebody to run up a gap and get it done. And so I think all of these guys will succeed because of the diversity of their skill set. So I think that's how Sony Michel will help, particularly inside the tackles, in the short yardage situation in the goal line, and when the defense is spread out. For a guy like Alec Ingold, you're going to have a fullback-based offense. So you're going to run the ball. I think that this is going to be a team where if you can really threaten people with their speed with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, then you're going to have lighter boxes, and you're going to have a situation where you can just lean on people, run the ball behind Teron Armstead on the left side. If you want to run outside zone, get Robert Hunt on the other side and pull him and run him on the other way. So I think there's a couple different options here if they can consistently run the ball, and if they can get teammates to respect the speed for Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, then this can be a really cool two-dimensional offense. So that's the Alec Ingold impact. And then Cedric Wilson, somebody's going to have to be open. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Jalen Waddle. There's going to be a double team on one of those two, probably Tyreek. Jalen Waddle's going to get some shaded attention. And then Mike Gesicki's there too. So Mike Gesicki's going to get a lot of love. There's going to be a lot of times where Cedric Wilson's going to be one-on-one against a fourth or fifth best defensive back on the field. And so that's an opportunity for him to feast. He should be better than those guys. So Cedric Wilson's going to have a lot of opportunities as that third receiver, a guy who can play outside, can play in the slot if you need him to, and give you some key third down catches. You got two smaller guys on the field with Tyreek and Jalen. He's a bigger guy on size. So that's kind of how I view maybe those three pieces making that offense more dangerous.
Yeah, and by the way, also helpful for Tua because Cedric will be a big slot receiver.
Yes, exactly.
Which is actually not normal in the NFL.
Right.
So it's actually another advantage considering you have smaller outside receivers.
Exactly.
Have a big receiver not only in Gesicki, but also in Cedric Wilson as a slot. That's a huge move for them.
It's really big, and it's interesting when you see how the Dolphins have shifted because last year they had Devontae Parker and they had Gesicki and even Preston Williams some as like three of their top five receivers. And so now they've gone a lot smaller, but you still need size in certain situations. And so I think, like you mentioned, Cedric Wilson's going to be a big third down red zone guy out of the big slot. Mike Gesicki as well. So you got the two big guys that can run out of the slot inside and the two small guys who can run deep and short on the outside. And you can move all of them around. Gesicki can play outside. Cedric Wilson can play outside. Jalen can play inside. Tyreek can play inside. And so you get a lot of different fun matchups that you can do, mixing all four of those guys around.
No doubt. Hey, stick one of those in the freezer, by the way. Anyway, just crazy stuff there. Just delivery.
I was like, what is going on over there?
Yeah, they delivered a little too much of something that I ordered.
Is it beer?
No. Definitely not. Definitely not. Not with gout, bro. Alcohol is out. That's for sure.
Gotcha.
Oh, man. Anyway, so what are you working on over at the NFL Network? So folks check you out.
This is the last week or two before we get back ramped up with things. So next week, our afternoon show comes back. So I'll probably be on that at some point next week, kind of gearing up for training camps. And we get our training camp schedule either this week or next week. So then I'll know where I'll be. I know I'll be with the Dolphins that first Saturday of training camp and probably a bunch otherwise. So I'm also working on a project on the 72 Dolphins that you guys will see sometime before the season starts. So I think you guys will really enjoy that. That'll be dope as well. So those are a couple things there that I'm working on. But I have a question for you, Big O, before we leave.
Let's do it.
And for your followers, because it's actually a Marlins-based question. So I don't know if I've shared this with you, but I am a Phillies fan.
I know.
And I have a very bad track record when the Phillies play the Marlins in Miami when I go to games. I've been here 4 years. I've been to six Marlins Phillies games, and the Phillies have lost all 6.
So in other words, go to all the games.
They are 0-6 against the Marlins. And so I'm asking a Marlins fan base. So I know I'm going to get the wrong answer here. But I don't believe in jinxes. I also want to see my team play, and they are playing this weekend.
I'm telling you, I don't believe in jinxes either.
so I'm trying to decide if I should enjoy the game as a fan truly, or if I should sacrifice for the betterment of my team and skip out.
Oh, no. You should be a hardcore fan, and you should show up to the game and root on the Philadelphia Phillies for every single inning and show your pride and show your dedication.
So are you saying this because you want the Marlins to win?
I would never say anything like that. Okay, that's just not in me. I would never do anything like that. I'm telling you this with an absolutely straight face, okay?
I got to pick my day that gives the Phillies the best chance to win. So I'm not going with –
and by the way, the day that Sandy Alcantara –
I'm not going with Sandy's pitching.
Hey.
I'm not going with Sandy. I'm not going with Sandy's pitching.
Definitely, bro.
If Aaron Nola's pitching or Zach Wheeler's pitching on a day that Sandy's not pitching, that'll probably be a day I go.
How about this? Somebody's got to own a limo company that's watching our show. I bet you they will pick you up and take you to the game. We'll get a limo company.
Yeah.
You and the wife will take you over to the game. Yeah. You guys can enjoy the game, and watch the game and then come back home. Nothing wrong with that.
And then the legend continues. 0-7, whatever it is.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. So you can be LeBron, but but actually you're really coming up with those numbers.
Yeah.
LeBron stopped at 2. Once he didn't need not 3 because he never got to 3.
I'm already at 6. I'm at Jordan level losses.
Exactly.
I'm backwards. Instead of 6-0 in the finals, I'm 0-6.
Think about this, dude. You can challenge the 60 Celtics. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, bro.
It's got to be broken.
Awesome. It's
the streak's got to be broken. I think Sandy's pitching on Friday, so I'm not going
Friday. You got to go. That's the game you got to
go on Friday. But I'll probably need to go Saturday or Sunday.
Dress like the Philly Maniac also on top of all of that. I mean, there you go. Just sit there and just shoot the things out of your nose the entire time, and it's a beautiful thing. All right, my brother. I appreciate it.
The last one I went to, I brought my daughter, and they beat us like 10-2 or something nasty. And,
that sounds like a plan.
I'll keep you posted. All right.
You got it. There you go. Cameron Wolfe and our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphin and NFL report. Make sure you call the folks at KSDT, which, by the way, they now opened up an office. They've got one now in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. That is just absolutely amazing. Management advisory services, healthcare advisory, forensic accounting, business evaluation, wealth management. They do it all. Property management. Call them, KSDT CPAs.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolfe. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Let's huddle up with Fanside National NFL reporter Matt Verderame. The Huddle is brought to you by RedRecover.com. RedRecover.com's wraps and pads are designed to deliver maximum benefits with each treatment anywhere you go. Go to RedRecover.com to learn more about red light with videos, blog posts, and over 40 years of medical research to treat pain, inflammation, and overall well-being. Here's NFL reporter Matt Verderame.
All righty, there he is. I've been looking forward to talking to my man, Matt Verderame, because he is a Kansas City fan. I got to ask him about this as we step into the RedRecover.com huddle here. All right, Matt, so I'm wondering, is there any Jeffrey Loria in that ownership group right now? Because I'm wondering, you traded for Orlando here. You got to pay for the guy. First of all, I got to say it was moronic that you didn't agree to a deal on the day you traded for him. That's what you should have done. But now he's got you by the Laramie Tunsil balls because the Texans did the same dumbass thing. And he wants to get paid, and he wants to get paid like a left tackle, but you want to pay him like a right tackle now. And you paid your quarterback $50 million, dude. This is the guy you got to pay. And so are you being cheap, or did they screw up and pay too many people on defense? And now they're putting themselves in this position right now, because I have a hard time believing you're not going to pay a guy to protect your $50 million quarterback after you watched him get buried like a plant 2 years ago in the Super Bowl without a line. So I'm just wondering what the hell is going on with this situation, because for that franchise, it's kind of baffling to me that they're a little bit unorganized in all of this right now, because that's not normal of Kansas City and not normal of Andy Reid.
So I did reporting on this last night, and I talked to a lot of people around the situation and around the league. And so my understanding is essentially, look, my reporting was Orlando Brown is looking for upwards of $25 million a year. Trent Williams right now makes $23 million a year. He is the benchmark at tackle. Orlando Brown is a very good player. He is a 3-time Pro Bowler. He is 26 years old. He made the Pro Bowl last year in KC. He certainly has every right to go out and ask for whatever he thinks he can get. However, I think, my understanding is the Chiefs feel like $25 million is just a hill that's too high. They're not going to go to that far. Now, is there a bridge to be gapped? Look, Mike Garofalo put out on NFL Network that they were looking at top right tackle money. I've been saying here and other places, I think he's worth about $21 million, maybe $22 a year. That seems to be about where the Chiefs have him as well. It's a gap. It's considerable, but is it bridgeable before Friday afternoon? If not, one thing I do understand is because of the Tyreek Hill trade, the Chiefs have a lot of financial flexibility moving forward. I would not be surprised if we're back in this spot again next year with Orlando Brown, where the Chiefs just say, fine, I'll tag you again. Because keep this in mind. If they sign him, let's just say they gave in to his demands, okay? And it's 5 and it's 125. By next year, that cap, it's going to be about $25 million. Maybe it's a little, give or take a couple million either way. If the Chiefs tag him next year, it's for 19 and change. So they're almost behooved financially to just say, fine, we're not going to give it to you. We'll go year to year on this thing.
But that's a hard number, as you know, because they can at least move it around a little bit and push some of the money back and have a little more flexible number in the early part of the years if they want. This becomes like if they sign him to a new deal, his first year number won't even be $10 million.
Is low. Right. It'll be like $8 million. Right. Agreed. But here's the thing. So if they sign him today, then yes, he would play for $8 million or so this year. But next year, the cap number would go up more toward what the actual annual value of the contract is. If they wait and they tag him next year and then they figure it out, that contract hit is low next year. My understanding is they're not afraid to tag him next season, knowing that they can still be players in free agency. Now, look, how that plays out, it's impossible to say. There's a lot that can happen between now and the end of this upcoming season. But I think the stalemate's born out of both sides feeling they have leverage. Kansas City feels like because of the Tyreek Hill trade, they have a lot of financial flexibility. And if you're Orlando Brown, you're saying exactly what you said, which is, look, you're feeling like, hey, you traded a first-round pick for me, and I protect Patrick Mahomes. And I'm with you. I was surprised, and I wrote this at the time. I was surprised that they did not extend him when they acquired him. But
that was that's catastrophically stupid what they did there. Because
I was surprised.
By the way, you would have signed them for less money at that moment.
You would have, and I think the concern was he's coming from a system that is very unorthodox in Baltimore. We want to make sure that he works in a very pass-heavy system in Kansas City.
Kind of run heavy, exactly.
And it turns out he does work. He played very well for them. I will say this. They love him. They want to keep him. This is not a thing where like they really didn't feel he played that well or he doesn't fit in internally. They love him. They want him there. I think eventually we might look at a road where he's just tagged again next year and they do this dance. And then next year the rubber kind of hits the road because you can't tag him a third time. But for now, they're far apart. We'll see if they can bridge it. They could have signed him, like you said. They wanted to see if he could play in the system. He did that. We'll see how things go, but I expect that Brown will be there this year, and I think there's a decent chance he's there moving forward, even if it gets a little ugly before that.
Let me tell you something also, because a lot of people say, well, they traded a first rounder for him, so they also got back a second and a sixth.
They did. They basically gave up like the 50th.
So it's not like the Houston deal in the sense that that like Laramie Tunsil, you traded the world for him, and Tunsil and his agent knew it, and it's like there's no way you're trading all the 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and you're not going to pay me. Yeah, you're going to pay me whatever the hell I want to pay. Right. And you're gonna say, thank you, sir. Would you like even more money, Laramie, after that? You know what I mean? So what did they get for that second or sixth in the draft, by the way? Who was it?
It actually, I wrote about this last year. It actually worked out in a funny way. So they got Nick Bolton, who ended up being a pretty damn good linebacker. But also, so here's the funny rub on this. Last year in the second round, when they got down there, the Chiefs had 2 second rounders. They had Baltimore's and they had their own. The first one they used, which was Baltimore's, they used on Nick Bolton. But to my understanding, from talking to a few different sources on this, if Baltimore had that second round pick, they really liked Creed Humphrey, who the Chiefs ended up taking with their own second round pick a few picks later. So if the Chiefs don't trade for Orlando Brown, there's a good chance they don't have him, Bolton, or Creed Humphrey right now.
Wow.
I mean, so it worked out. But now they've got to figure out how to acquire Brown's services long term. Look, again, you know how things are. Things can change. Browns camp can come to them tomorrow and say, you know what? We don't want to sit on a tag. We'll take $23 million a year. The Chiefs bump it up a little. You meet at 22.5, and everybody goes home happy. Right. But it could also play out where Brown doesn't show up till week 1 of the season, and then you're back doing this dance come late February. Yep. It's just hard to say right now, but that's where they stand.
That's right. That's right. All right, so let's go to the bullshit department. Are you ready to step into the we're stepping out of the huddle, and we're going to step into the bullshit department. Are you ready?
That's where I'm comfortable.
Okay. Baker Mayfield, when asked if there's any animosity towards Cleveland, no animosity towards Cleveland. It's a good football team, and they gave me my first 4 years of my career.
We're deep in the bullshit department.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's what is it that the old Maury show thing?
Who the hell doesn't want to stick it to their former employer, dude?
Of course. And look, that's the old Maury. You know, we've determined this was a lie, right? I mean, come on now. Look, they play each other in an incredible twist of irony. Week 1.
Love it. Yes.
You don't think Baker is going to try to throw for 500 yards in that game, even more so than of course he's. And by the way, he should. He's human.
Yes.
He's human.
Yes.
If decided.
And by the way, after the game, he should grab his nuts too, like he did in Oklahoma also. You know what I mean? If he throws for 500 yards, wins the game, he should then grab his nuts and wave it at Cleveland too, on top of all that. No animosity. Get the hell out of here.
If you're a human being, of course it matters more. Of course it does. Look, Cleveland,
you played all left up with your shoulder. You gave your body beaten up. And then they told you, get out of here, and you're not going to have animosity.
And on the way out the door, said, through a leak anyway, we want to bring in a quarterback who's a leader, and brought in Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Okay? Yeah. Like, you couldn't slap somebody in the face harder than Cleveland did on the way. And look, I'm not saying Baker's a saint in terms of, his maturity level and everything else. Fine. The way the Browns handled that, the entire thing, was a crap show. And now he's in Carolina. Of course he wants to go out and kill the Browns week 1. Of course he does. Look, anybody with any pride, I would be concerned if I was Carolina if he was like, it's just a game. I'd be like, geez, he doesn't really care at all, right? Like,
let me tell you something. As much as Baker's probably disliked by a bunch of people, I think most of America will be rooting for Baker and the Carolina Panthers because I don't think anybody wants to root for Cleveland because of the Deshaun Watson situation. And if Deshaun is on the field, oh my God, I don't think some Browns fans want to root for the Browns because of Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
So Baker Mayfield will never have more fans than he's ever had than he does in week 1 for the Carolina Panthers. By the way, if he's starting. Okay, because that's the other thing. He goes, well, I got to put my team in the position. Who's to say Sam Darnold does? I don't think that's going to happen. I think Baker's going to get the call.
Hold on. Are we still in the bullshit department? Right. I have as good of a shot at starting as Sam Darnold does. Right. This idea that, like, well, Sam's looked good in OTAs. They just saw him for a whole year.
Yeah.
He went 5-12. They finished 2-12. He got benched for PJ Walker. They are not starting Sam Darnold unless Baker Mayfield gets hurt or falls off the face of the earth.
No.
That's it. Mayfield will start. And look, let's call it what it is too. This is an enormous year for Carolina in terms of if they stink again, there might be a house cleaning. Okay.
Oh, for sure. Okay? Oh, for sure. Yeah.
There's also a lot at stake, obviously, for Baker, who's hitting free agency after this year. If he goes out and plays well, he throws for 4,000 yards and 29 touchdowns and 8 picks. He's either going to get tagged for a fortune by Carolina, or he's going to go to the market at 27 years old and he's going to get paid.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, you know this as well as I do. He's a 27-year-old quarterback who's a number 1 overall pick. If he goes out and has a really good year, he's going to get paid. Yeah. Some team is going to go, hey, Baker, how's 4 and 150 sound? I mean, that's going to – Ryan Tannehill got paid after being good for a half of a season. Like, guys get paid in the NFL at that position if they're anything close to decent. It happens every year.
Hell, Matt Flynn played a game and a half for the Packers,
right?
And got a boatload of money.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Look at Kevin Cobb. Remember Kevin Cobb?
Yeah, man.
Right?
Remember that?
He got paid. Look in this league, the quarterback is everything. Yeah. And if you show a hint, a whiff of potential, I mean, hell, now he ended up, to be fair, had some good years. Look at Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub is a guy who barely played at all in Atlanta, and Houston gave him a ton. Now, he had some good years. He ended up falling off. But, you look at the quarterbacks around the league. Look, there are plenty of teams that need quarterbacks every year. Carson Wentz, year after year after year after year, goes and gets paid, and he gets traded for first and second round picks. And, I mean, that's why I've talked a little bit in my column lately about Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones goes out and plays well this year with the Giants, who have weapons, by the way, if he goes and plays well, he will get paid.
Oh, yeah.
Some team will pay, whether it's the Giants or elsewhere, he will get paid. That's the way this league works at that position.
Yeah, definitely. And hell, with Daniel Jones at least, there's actually like real athleticism for his size.
There is.
You know what I mean? Like Baker doesn't have athleticism at all. He's just not that.
No, he's not going to run. He's not going to extend plays. Right?
No, yeah, he's not. He's not. And so you look at a guy like Daniel Jones, if he somehow puts it together, oh, yeah, there's no doubt somebody will go, oh, my God, yeah, no, he's the guy. We can make him even better, this and that. Yeah, there's no doubt. All right, one more thing before I let you go. Is Tyreek Hill learning about our business? Because, he in the latest one of his podcast, he was talking about how, hey, this is stuff that we all talk about. Hey, Tua, obviously going into a really important year, and he was talking about in general how, man, they only give you 2 or 3 years. And for Tua, it's like he's going in on a final year that he's got to prove himself. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but you heard the comments.
Yeah.
Smart move on his part, not the right move on his part. Is he helping or hurting his teammate in that case?
I wrote about this in Stacking the Box on Monday. And I think he's well-intentioned. I also think if I was Tua, I would text him and be like, bro, please stop. I mean, at some point, look, Tyreek's not saying anything wrong from a Dolphins perspective in the sense he's pumping his guy up, and that's fine, okay? We've talked about this just about every week, and I've said a few times, I think comparing him to Mahomes is doing him a massive disservice. Like, you're just not helping him. Comparing anybody to Mahomes is not going to help him. But if you just want to pump him up on his own and say, hey, look, he's looked great in practice, we have a great chemistry, that's fine. That's great. That's all good. I do think you reach a point where you pump expectations to a level that you do start to put him in a spot a little bit. Like, what if Tua even has a great year, but he gets off to a slow start the first couple of weeks, right? They have a harder schedule to start the year. Like, I think at some point, let the play speak for itself. But I'll say this, from a media perspective, the beginning of your question, I mean, Tyreek's getting a lot of eyeballs to that podcast. People are listening.
Yeah.
So in that regard, he's been unbelievably successful. Now, I do think he's setting both Tua and the Dolphins up to be a punchline nationally if this thing doesn't start off good. That is the one risk to all this. I mean, we all know how this works, right? You always want to underpromise and overdeliver. Right now, Tyreek is that car salesman outside, like, hey, that car right there behind me, I'm selling it for 20. It's really worth 50. Well, you better hope it is. I mean, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of angry customers. I don't think he's doing anything wrong necessarily. I do think he's hyping it to a point where if it gets off to a slow start, people are going to be screaming based off of the way he's talked about Tua. But again, I also get it from Tyreek Hill's perspective. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, what are you working on over at Fansided, my brother, so folks can check you out?
So obviously Stacking the Box goes up every Monday, the column, Tuesday, the podcast on YouTube, noon Eastern, 11 Central. Also, I've got a big feature coming out, might be end of this week, early next. I'll tweet out a bunch. People can look for it on fanside.com. It's on the history of black quarterbacks in the NFL and how difficult it's been to get to the point of being even respected, let alone being able to flourish in the league. I talked to many black quarterbacks in the story, Warren Moon, Doug Williams, James Harris, on down the line. And their insights were invaluable. And just talking about how, it's been a long road, and yet it continues to be in a lot of ways. So I hope people will check that out.
And follow him on Twitter at Matt Verderame. And, of course, you can catch him inside the Huddle here every week with the redrecover.com Huddle. Matt, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely.
Hey, thanks a lot, O. Take care.
You got it. There you go, Matt Verderame. And we tell you all the time about redrecover.com. It's helped grow my hair back here in the middle, but it's more about pain relief, recovery. When we talk about athletes or weekend warriors, injuries, those kind of things, it happens to all of us. It's happening with your kids right now. They're running around all over the place during the summer, sprains and strains. Go to redrecover.com and do it all natural, folks. Tight end Hayden Hurst of the Cincinnati Bengals uses Red Recover as part of his daily recovery program to optimize performance. On Sundays, my man Sean, okay, he's not Hayden Hurst, but he's got issues with his knees. Bone on bone, he uses the Red Recover wrap on his knees to alleviate the discomfort and the pain. It's ideal for anybody suffering from chronic pain, such as arthritis, like my man, neck, lower back discomfort. Only 15 minutes a day will bring about tremendous relief. You'll feel better without using medication. Red Recover is 100% natural with no side effects. So if you have a loved one that's dealing with some, maybe they have some chronic back issues, a shoulder issue, an old injury, and they get some soreness or something along those lines, go to redrecover.com, find the wrap that's good for you, whether it's for your elbow, shoulders, back, neck, you name it, knees, ankles. They've got the wraps for it. They've even got it for the dogs. Also, it's great for the dogs, for their front shoulders, their back hind. Sometimes they like German Shepherds, certain dogs, golden retrievers, they have problems with their hips. These are things that you can help them recover from and maybe also prevent further damage too on top of all of that. Go to redrecover.com, check out the blogs, the video blogs. They explain it all, and use our code BIG-O. You will get 10% off your order. So if you got somebody who wants to try to grow some of their hair back, or if they're trying to recover from some kind of pain or injury, or just from working out, redrecover.com.
This has been The Huddle with NFL reporter Matt Verderame. RedRecover.com helps pros and everyday warriors heal on the go with their medical-grade, highly specialized devices designed for each area of the body. Go to RedRecover.com to learn more about red light with videos, blog posts, and over 40 years of medical research to treat pain, inflammation, and overall well-being.
There we go. Nyborg says delivery from a certain planet. No, Planet 13. Do they deliver? No. It was actually from Albertsons, and they brought us too much Coke. So you better help me drink some of that, because I'm not leaving we're leaving tomorrow night, so there's no way I'm drinking that by tomorrow night. So you better drink some, because you're probably out of your Pepsi anyway. So. Yeah, so perfect. So you better start drinking some of those. Anyway, so I got some of those Mexican bottles of Coke, which are just like, addicting completely. If Sandy is pitching, don't go, Cam. What is wrong with you? Oh, because they're not going to win anyway? No, go. No, we want him to see him lose, bro. No, we want to see him lose. No, go. We want her. And if we have a limo company out there that wants to take Cameron Wolfe to the baseball games to make sure that they lose, please. Not the Marlins, the Phillies. Okay. Be interesting to see how much Azukama contributes to the Finns this year. It'll be very interesting. We got to see him first. Lenny Peña says, Buenos dias, Big O. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Oh, if you do not watch the game live or in real time, you're not a fan, according to the man with no name. That's right. You're right about that. Oh, and by the way, thank you for correcting me on Sandy and Chaz. Yeah, they came through the minors, but they were acquired in trades. You are correct, because I remember the Osuna one after when one of you brought it up. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Big O's Swedish House Mafia concert, July 29th with Edge Energy Drink. Let's get it. I like it. A little Swedish House Mafia, a little Edge Energy Drink. You got me. There you go. I'm dancing. I'll take the wife and we'll go do it and have some fun. Big O, have you seen Tua's new Muscle Milk commercial yet? He looks great. Are you saying there's because he already did a Muscle Milk commercial. Did they record a new Muscle Milk commercial, or is it the original one from last year, but this is the first time you see it? Or do you know that he already had a Muscle Milk commercial and this is the second Muscle Milk commercial? You get what I'm saying? Not exactly sure, because I have not seen any new Muscle Milk commercial. I saw the old one that he had, but I have not seen the new one. So, no, I don't know. Let me... Matt, let me ask you, what have you heard on the 49ers camp between the competition between Lance versus Jimmy G? Rosendo, there is no competition there. You do know that, right? They're trying to trade Jimmy G. The thing is that Jimmy G just got healthy. He's been throwing now for the last couple of weeks. They are just trying to find a trade partner now. And Carolina picked up a quarterback, so now it's Seattle. And what's the other maybe destination for him? There's not many. There was one more that's talked about him. Seattle's really more the destination for Garoppolo. But there's one more team that was mentioned that they weren't necessarily set with their quarterback position. Damn, who was it now? I'm forgetting now who the hell it was. But there was one more team that was mentioned. But Seattle looks like the lead dog by miles. The thing is that it's Seattle and San Francisco trying to agree on a trade. And then it's also San Francisco helping Seattle, which is not something that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And especially a quarterback. So that's where that kind of gets a little hazy, as they say. Well, you got, it's a new one? There it is. Okay. Yeah, that is a new one. Yeah, that is his brother. Okay. All right. Yeah, kind of short. Okay. Not the quarterback, the commercial. Yeah, because no, of course. Yeah, it's like I had to throw it in quickly. You got to think quickly on this because, people then run with a whole bunch of stuff. It's like, oh, you see, just picking on Tua, calling him short, this and that. It's just because it looked like it was a 15-second commercial. Yeah, it was, right? That's what I thought. Anyway, so there you go. Kirk Cousins has a better Monday night record. I wouldn't want Kirk Cousins if you gave him to me. So it doesn't matter to me. I don't care what Kirk Cousins does. That's not a guy that I would want him quarterbacking my team. I'm not a Cousins guy. My man Omar is. Sure enjoy listening to Cam. Omar's so negative. Thanks, Cam, for keeping it real. Bradley Maddox. You guys are a trip. All right. Yesterday, we thought we had it in the win column. Well, we had it, but man, the bullpen came in for the Yankees and absolutely ruined it. Yeah, it was very Marlin-esque. So let's get to our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
Hey, man. I mean, we got the outing we wanted from Garrett Cole. Went 7 innings, no earned runs, 11 Ks. And then all of a sudden, I forgot the name of the pitcher for the Yankees, but he gave up 4 earned runs, didn't even get an out, dude. I mean, it was a 3-0 game. They ended up losing 4-3. I thought I had it for sure, man. Guaranteed. I go, okay, great. I'm going to go to Caesars, collect my money, and bet on today's game. And nope, not collecting on it. So we dropped to 13-6 after winning our last game and getting to that 13th win. Now we drop our 6th game here. So 13-6 in our last 19 after the damn Reds come back against the Yankees 4-3. Tell you. All right. So tonight, the Marlins continue their series against the Pirates. JT Brubaker, who's 2-8 and a 4.34 ERA, taking on Pablo Lopez, who's 6-4 and a 2.91 ERA. Miami is favored by a 1.5. The over and under 7 runs. Pittsburgh is plus 150 in the money line. Miami is minus 180 with Pablo on the mound, which it should be that way. And Pablo has pitched very well. I'm not touching that game. Pirates can score runs, so I'm not going to touch that game. I'm going to go back to the well, and I'm going to go back to the Yankees and the Reds. Yes, I like this game. Luis Severino is on the mound. He's 5-3 with a 3.11 ERA, and overall, he's been pitching very well lately. Mike Minor is on the mound for the Reds. By the way, I lost against Mike Minor about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or 3 weeks ago, or whatever it was. It was a Braves game or something. I don't know when it was, but it was sometime during this, maybe during this streak or not. I forgot. But either way. But Minor's 1-6 with a 6.63 ERA. I am not going with him screwing me over another time. He's going to lose tonight. And the Yankees are going to win. Okay? Yankees are favored by a 1.5. The over and under is 9 runs. All right, this is where right when I'm done here, I am going to Caesars and I'm laying the juice on this. Yankees are minus 330 in the money line. I'm not going to tell you to do that. And the Reds are plus 265. I expect the Yankees to win big here. I'm going to double up my bet from yesterday so I can make some money back here. I'm going to go Yankees minus 1.5 runs against the Reds. I'm counting on Severino to continue his outstanding pitching that he's been doing lately. And I think he'll continue. And the Reds suck anyways. They got lucky yesterday with the one pitcher. Not going to happen again. Yankees minus 1.5 runs against the Reds tonight in our liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download the Tap That app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
All right. Thank you all for keeping it locked here. As always, Brett Dodger says, as a Cardinals fan, it pains me to recall we gave up Alcantara for that bum Ozuna. How about that? What do you think about that, huh? I mean, yeah, but Ozuna's a pretty good player, isn't he? You know, come on. When we traded him, he was a hell of a player. I mean, and by the way, didn't he have a good year for him the following year? Huh? Didn't Ozuna have that first year? Wasn't he good for them? Well, that's pretty damn good. Overall, I would say. Let me see here. I'm going to look it up myself. He batted .280. And but I see, yeah, this year, well, he had .213 last year and then .226. It's been bad lately. Yeah, well, yeah, the assault part, might be bad. Although he has 17 home runs this year. He had 7 last year. So, I don't know. But either way, Ozuna fell off big time after Cardinals got him. Yeah, he has fallen off the last couple of years. But I thought he had a decent year that first year. Yeah, he's Braves now. Right, but he had that first year, right? It wasn't that bad. But then after that, he has gotten worse and worse. Big O, I'm hoping Liquor Split will come to Broward soon. Yes, it's coming to Broward, and it's going to Tampa, by the way. I don't know if I was supposed to say that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, it's growing a lot. It's gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be all over the place. It's just one of those things. It's in its baby. It's in infancy stages, and so yeah, it is growing and growing and growing. Yes, Big O, you think Giroux stays? I don't know, man. I don't know. It sounds to me like they're gonna have trouble keeping anybody because they have no money. They have no wiggle room whatsoever. And I guess they're struggling at getting rid of people too. Yeah. JS says, sorry, didn't make you spill the beans. I did. I don't think they're going to hold anything against me on that one, but still, it's funny you brought it up because I was talking with Matt from Liquor Split this morning. So it was just one of those things. So weird that you're having a conversation with somebody at 5:30 in the morning. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. It's 8:30 over there. One of those deals. Don't forget, folks, to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Very important that you hit the like button here and support the show. What else do we have here? Oh, by the way, let me just get a little bit into this. I'm not going to get too political on all of this, the whole Brittany Griner thing, because LeBron James is in the news and he's talking about the whole Brittany Griner thing. And I'm a little tired of the ignorance that I'm seeing about all of this. There's I get it, man. The poor woman is stuck in Russia and all of that stuff. And it's a terrible situation she's in. But people here in this country have got to stop making it sound like they have any power here. Like this government or this president or anybody's going to be able to move that guy over there. Okay? When people get jailed over there, Brittany's not the first. They're there for years. That's normal. And they're going to be, and especially her, she's going to be used like a pawn for his purposes. Nobody controls that loser Putin. So, hearing people from the WNBA, hearing, LeBron James and all this kind of stuff, because he was on his barbershop crap or whatever and talking about Brittany Griner and, saying, she probably doesn't even want to come back to this country. She feels like we've abandoned her. Nobody's abandoned her, dude. Nobody can get her out. So everybody in the WNBA, shut the hell up already. LeBron James, everybody else, shut the hell up already. Stop blaming the government. Nobody's going to get her out until that guy wants to release her, if he feels like releasing her. And if he wants to make a trade, eventually he'll ask you for some scumbag that we have that's a real criminal, and he'll want that. And he'll use that as leverage. But nobody here is going to hurry Putin up. And again, I'll say what most people won't say. Brittany Griner put herself in that position. While I feel sorry for her, there's a part of me that also says, you use no common sense whatsoever. Where were you going? Russia. Why would you do that? Where are you going? China. Why would you do that? Where are you going? I'm going to Cuba. Why would you do that? If you're going to any of these shitholes, North Korea, you better walk the straightest of straight lines ever. And if you don't know that, then that's your problem. So if you want to go to some foreign country and get in trouble, well, good luck to you, man. But this whole bullshit that we got going on and all these people talking crap, then they make it sound like it's the easiest thing to get her out, or that you're going to be able to negotiate your way out of it or something. No, man, there's no negotiations. You're dealing with an animal over there. You're dealing with a pig. You're dealing with the most disgusting human on the face of the earth, Putin. And he doesn't care. He's killing people in another country like it's going out of style, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care about his own soldiers. You think he's going to give a shit about Brittany Griner? I mean, you all sound like a bunch of fools all over this country crying about Brittany Griner, making it sound like it's anybody's fault on this side of the ocean. No one's to blame here. And no one can save her from this until that guy wants to release her, if he feels like releasing her. I love, we have a society that likes to point fingers, and they never look in the mirror. And they never actually point at the reason why. And we have too many people. We have trained our kids. We have trained people in this society to blame everybody else except themselves when they screw up. That's what we have trained everybody. Let's blame everybody else, because it's got to be everybody else's fault, but it can't be her fault. The young lady put herself in that position. End of story. So if you're going to North Korea or Russia or China or Cuba or any place like that, and you don't know that you should be, you shouldn't first go to any of those places. But if you're going to go, you better be an angel of all angels. Don't give them a reason. Brittany Griner gave him a reason. She wasn't smart. And you know what she was? Entitled. And she thought, because she's a star, no big deal, I can do these things. It was no mistake. She knew what she was doing. She knew she had it in her bag. What do you think, I'm stupid? You think I was born yesterday? Come on, man. So enough of this garbage pointing the fingers at anybody in this country. Nobody's going to get that woman out. And by the way, there are Americans that are there before Griner, and nobody talks about them. Just a bunch of crap. Let's point fingers and never actually, take responsibility. That's our society. JJ Tucker, Big O, where Joe Shad been? JJ, you got to watch the show more often, my brother. Let's see, what else do we have? Christopher Henry, I miss Joe. Yeah, Joe will be back. He will be back. Yep, she broke a law in their country. We cannot change their laws. That's it. It's the way it is. Trump would have, Big O. Yeah, he also tries to overturn an election, attack a country, and kill people too. Yeah, Uber Beaner. Yeah. Because why? Because he's friends with Putin? Huh? Because he's his bitch? Is that why? That's a clown ass response on your part. If anybody that supports that, come on, bro. You watching everything going on? You still support that name? You should be embarrassed with yourself, dude. Big O, who are your standouts this league in the summer league so far? Sean Stanley, and Sean Stanley. That's the standout in the summer league. When you go overseas, careful what you pack. Of course, man. Give me a break. It's like the person that has a gun when they go through a checkpoint. I mean, You get what you deserve. You're an idiot. Oh, I didn't know I had the gun. Or you try to, come on, man. You know? Yeah, you've got to be a complete moron to go to any airport with weed in your suitcase. Well, no. You could do it in this country. I mean, you have an oil vaping card or whatever. They're not going to tell you anything in this country. But, dude, you don't go to Russia or China or North Korea. I mean, if you're going to places like that, or if you're leaving this country, if you're going to Canada, you shouldn't be doing it. If you're going to Mexico, you shouldn't be doing it. I mean, come on. Big O, what about the Americans before Griner? They have not been discussed. Were you just listening to me? I just said that there are other Americans that have been there longer than her, and they're not talking about them. I said that already. So, anyway, they make it look like she was kidnapped. I know, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. She's there, and she's trapped because of her own fault, not because of anybody else, dude. That's all. Nothing else. Nothing more, nothing less. Please. I just find it pathetic that people are blaming everybody else except her and thinking that we have any control in this country over that situation. That's just a joke. All right, let's get into a little sports. By the way, the Patriots traded away N'Keal Henry. Their former first-round pick, they traded him to the Bears for a seventh-rounder in 2024. He was a first-rounder in 2019. Here's the worst part about it, okay? We all know already. You all know. I'm not breaking any news. This guy's not very good at drafting, Bill Belichick. He's the worst at drafting wide receivers. He may be the worst drafter of wide receivers in NFL history. Now, he's got 6 titles. So nobody really cares in the end. But here's where it becomes a major factor now. You no longer have Tom Brady. You no longer have the eraser that every time you screw up in the draft, which you screwed up a lot in the draft, you make up for it in free agency. And then also Tom Brady makes the best out of Oompa Loompas. So you continue to fail now at drafting. And by the way, this offseason, most people are incredibly unimpressed with what you've done this offseason. And the fact that you don't really have an offensive coordinator, and whether it's Belichick or Patricia, or whoever else calling plays, that becomes a little odd. You know what I mean? Like Patricia was a defensive guy. Now you're going to make him an offensive guy, all that stuff. And it just kind of becomes a really clouded situation. Now, I'm enjoying every moment of this because if there's anybody that I would love to see crash and fall badly to end their run, it would be Belichick. After all the cheating and all the crap that's gone on, I would really enjoy him to have a rough ending here where Kraft has to say, okay, you had your run. Thank you for everything. See ya. Get out of here. It would be nice. And I think this is the start of some of this, actually. Last year, it started. He panicked and spent a whole ton of money in free agency. This year, they're not as active in free agency. So they basically got to hope to improve from within, and they also did not improve as a coaching staff. So I'm really interested to see how much or how can they succeed, and will they succeed? But to watch the N'Keal Henry thing, I'm not surprised. But the fact that you don't have Brady anymore, that you don't have that ultimate eraser anymore, that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Something tells me that this is going to, the end. The Dolphins started the end of that dynasty when they beat them in that first year under Flo on the road and knocked them out of that bye week and made them play in the wild card round. Since then, it's been kind of a downhill thing for them. And this year, if it's going to be downhill, there'll be no playoffs and they'll suffer a setback. And I think that that's when the heat starts to build on him. And that's when Kraft starts to say, yeah, maybe you lost your fastball. Maybe we've got to move on. Thanks, Bill, for everything. You were fantastic. And nobody was more attached to Brady than Robert Kraft. But he gave the head coach the benefit of the doubt on the second go-around. You can tell he didn't the first go-around because he was forced to trade Garoppolo. I'm convinced Belichick was ready to go with Garoppolo and get rid of Brady at that moment. And Kraft said, no. I'm not ready. And then the second go-around is when they made the move, and now we're going to watch this thing fall apart. I'm going to love it. I got to say, I'm going to absolutely love watching this whole thing fall apart. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program on the Welt and Realm text line, 855-912-1056. Jordan Schultz is set to join us at 12:30, so he will join us in about 39 minutes, and we'll talk a little NBA and NFL with him. We'll get his thoughts on the Donovan Mitchell stuff, on the Kevin Durant movement, on anything going on NBA-wise, and then we'll run a couple of NFL things by him as he's always breaking all kinds of stories in the NFL and NBA. Cigar Social says, talking about Flo, what's the latest on the Flo versus Ross case? Was always funny to me at Flo's, what is it? Lawyers were white. Yeah, and they threw in a black guy after to kind of balance it out a little bit, which was also even more funny when at first there were two white guys. And he's talking about, fighting for equality and all that good stuff. There's nothing there so far. I think they're trying to decide whether it goes to arbitration privately or it goes publicly, and that has not been decided yet. I think they're waiting on that. But so far, nothing. The good thing about all of that, I don't think in the end it's going to affect us, the fans. If anything, I think it's the owner that ends up losing the team and having to be forced to sell it. But I don't think we're going to lose any draft picks or anything like that, because I think the NFL will realize that you can't penalize the team, just get rid of the owner. If that's the case, somehow or another, I think he'll get away with it. If it even happened, I don't even know if it happened or not, but I think he'll be able to get away with it because it behooves the other owners to protect him, not to throw him under the bus. It's a worse look for the league if it's actually true. Let's see. Big O deep down questions himself every time he brings on Sloppy Joe. No. Whatever. Okay. The key word is entitled. We are entitled as Americans. Yeah, well, some are entitled more than others. We better not lose to the Pats this year. I don't know how many games Belichick needs to surpass Shula. You can look it up yourself if you want. You can do a little work instead of just asking us to go search for something that you can search for yourself. Just NFL head coaching all-time winning totals, and then you'll get it there. You can pull it up. It's called Google, bro. The amount of laziness in this country is freaking amazing. How some of you, there's a reason why so many of you were asking for money and not working, which I don't know how that plans out, but there's a bunch of you that were, thank the Lord, our last two presidents were so willing to give away free money to a bunch of you lazy bastards. My tax money, by the way, that they gave to you lazy bastards. I'm not talking about those of you that actually really needed it. I'm talking about you lazy bastards that don't need it. People that ask for something that they can look on Google, those are lazy bastards. I love that. And this has been going on for years. Hey, what do you think about, can you tell me about this? No, you can tell yourself, dude. Go look it up on Google, you lazy ass. Flo will get a nice paycheck. Yeah, whatever. Just making conversation. No, dude, you're lazy. You're not making conversation. You're lazy. That's all. It's 38, by the way, you lazy piece of crap. Because Sean's not lazy. Sean does more work in 1 hour than you, Tombstone, do in a month, dude. I can already tell by that you ain't making no conversation. You're lazy. You know what you're supposed to do, Tombstone? You're supposed to look it up and say, oh, Belichick is 38 wins away from Shula. Do you think he'll get it? That's what a real sports talk listener does. Not a lazy dude like you that doesn't know the total and is asking the question because you're lazy. That's all, dude. Look in the mirror. Admit it to yourself. I'm already telling you, but you need to admit it to yourself. That way you can grow from it, my brother. I'm lazy. I need to change my ways. I need to work harder. And I need to stop taking O's tax money from the last two presidents. Bill Belichick should kiss the ground Brady walks on. He was an average coach and was on the hot seat before Brady took over. So there you go. Tombstone now puts 38, of course. That's what lazy people do. Good luck to Inter Miami tonight against the Philadelphia Union. I won't be able to watch it tonight. Oh, no. Well, no, yeah, our game starts at 6, right? Boy, they're making it later and later for us. Do they know that we wake up at 5 in the morning? Thank God we're not here for Friday night's game, right? Friday night's game. Well, no, we don't work on Saturday, so the bastards, right? That was like the tease, you know? Yeah, today's a 9 o'clock game for you guys, 6 o'clock for us. But by the time we're done, you know, it's like we got to go to, for me, I got to hit the sack by 10, you know, and it's hard. I got to tell you to hit the sack by 10 because when you're up at 5, you know, you're not used to going to sleep so early. And then you got to wake up so early and it sucks. I got to tell you, I do not miss waking up this early. There's no effing way I would ever do this again on a consistent basis. You're never the same for the rest of the day. How some of you do it, you have to take a nap during the day. Look at them yawning. I mean, it's waking up at 5 in the morning takes your ass out of whack all day long. Just does. Big O, a lot of these countries jump at the opportunity to have an American celebrity as their bargaining chip. Amen? Amen. But just don't be the stupid one and do illegal things in other countries. You know, if you do something here that's bad, at least you're in your own country where you know you can get a fair trial somewhat, get the proper, presentation or representation. You know, you can do you have some rights here. You end up in another country doing stupid things. You're in Mexico and you get, how people go to Tijuana and then they get in trouble. It's like, what a moron you are. You're in Tijuana, dude. You're in Mexico now. You're not in America. Why are you getting drunk and getting into a fight? Why are you getting arrested for this or that or whatever? What kind of an idiot are you? So now you're in a Mexican jail. And this goes for and imagine if you're going to that's Mexico, which is not as bad as North Korea, as China, as Russia. Come on. Common sense. I just hate the fact that they blame everybody else and they don't blame her. And they make everybody else in this country look like we're evil and that the government doesn't care about her or that they're not trying or this and that. And it's like, they're trying, but you're dealing with a tyrant. It's a joke. Damn poor Tombstone. Oh, out for blood today. You get to a point sometimes where Tombstone was like the tip of the iceberg of laziness, because it's happened so many times that people, oh, this, that, and there's a lot of you that are lazy. Sorry, but it's just the way it is. And it happens. And so some of you need to be called out. So that way others that are lazy are on the board, then they kind of go, oh, wait a minute, hold on a second. O's not big on laziness. Let me find out before I ask him, and then I can ask him the question instead overall. Not, hey, how many wins is he away? Will he get there? So, Big O, I have training camp tickets August 2nd, 10 a.m. Can you give me some pointers on what to look for? Players. Footballs. Football playing. Ball in air. Blocking. Handoffs. Play calls. Coaches. Trainers. Ice. Gatorade. It's a lot of things to look out for. Cheerleaders. No? Some fans that are cheerleaders. There we go. Big Papa Pump. Go look for Big Papa Pump. NorCal. I don't know if his ass is going to come from the West Coast. Look for NorCal out there. Look for me. Look for Sean. We'll be out there. Look for Dolph Freaky. She'll be out there. It's a lot of things you can look forward to. Big O, are we Miami Dolphins going to be a 500 team this year? Sir, that kind of negative talk is not accepted here, okay? It's the Super Bowl this year. I don't know if you know that, but, I got my hotel already set in Arizona. I already got it. I'm already done. I reserved my hotel. I haven't gotten my plane ticket yet. You know why? Because of gas prices. Waiting for them to go down a little bit, and then I'm going to get my plane ticket and reserve that for, I don't know what the hell you got planned, but I got plans to see the Dolphins in Arizona. So, you can go with your 500 team somewhere else. I plan on going to Arizona. And if I leave my keys in the car or my house locked up, I can call LennyLocksmith.com because they are in Phoenix, Arizona. How about that? So I'm protected by that. Love it. Big O, I have a crystal ball. You can ask me anything. It wasn't until the Chicago practice that people started saying, yo, O-line sucks. Yeah. Omar was saying it throughout the entire offseason. The O-line would suck. And plus, I don't think any of us thought the line was going to be good last year. It was too young. I mean, I pointed that out too, that it's just way too young. Our playoff win drought ends this year, says Heat fans. Of course it will. It's the idea. Don't worry about it. You guys need to chill out a little bit here. By the way, Inter Miami taking on Philadelphia. Inter Miami is favored by half a goal. The over and under is 2.5 goals. How about this? The Miami is plus 185 on the money line, and Philly is plus 147. How did they come up with that number? 147. Not 145, not 150, but let's go 147. It's like those TBS starts of 705 and 707. Those bastards. Like all of a sudden, all my life is, I'm starting the game at 1, 7 o'clock. And all of a sudden, TBS wanted to be a little different. 505, 705, 707. Like, what the hell, dude? What do you need those extra couple minutes for? It's baseball. It's long enough as it is. Don't extend it. 707, you're stealing 2 or 3 pitches from me. Because it takes about 7 minutes for 3 pitches. Yeah. All right, let's get into our number 3 on the program. Jordan Schultz will join us at 12:30. Craig Mish will stop by at 1. Actually, no, I don't think we have Craig Mish today. I think he's on vacation. I think he's in San Francisco. I'll check. Anyway, but definitely Jordan Schultz will join us at the bottom of the hour. Or is it next week? So it's next week. Yeah, it's next week. That's right. It's not this week. It's next week when he's out. That's right. So Mish will be at 1 o'clock. Okay. So there you go. All right. Let's take a quick break. Hour number 3, which already started, is next.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show's coverage of the NBA Summer League is brought to you by the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. The FLPD is hiring. Go to FLPDjobs.com. EJD Construction, where you can trust their team of construction experts. Perdomo Cigars. Experience the Perdomo way. Go to perdomocigars.com. The road trip continues with our coverage of the Slomans.com NBA Summer League. Live from Las Vegas, Slomans Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
All right. By the way, Sean Stanley not only is a great producer, a great human being, he's also great at math. Because George Sardina says, I guarantee that the Dolphins will not be a 500 team, especially when they're playing 17 games. 8-1 is 500. All right, George? So They won't be a 500 team because they're going to the Super Bowl. So obviously they're going to win 11, 12 games. That's just the way it's going to be. But mathematically, in 17 games, you could be 500 by going 8-1. So it is mathematically possible in 17 games to be 500. It's not going to happen because they will be in the Super Bowl and I will be there. Okay. Hey, are you still pumping money into crypto? Hell yeah, bitch. I'm buying Bitcoin. I'm buying Ethereum like it's going out of freaking style, dude. What are you, crazy? Yeah, this is when you buy. When things are at its worst, when there's blood in the streets, when things are rock bottom, and hopefully they go a little lower. Who knows? I don't see inflation getting better. I don't see gas prices getting better. I don't see the war leaving. I still don't see the supply chain getting any better. So until all of those things start getting better, I don't expect the markets. Tesla's gone to crap. Amazon's gone down. A bunch of stocks have gone down. If you're in the stocks, now's when you scoop up all that damn Tesla. Now's when you scoop up all that Apple. That's what you're supposed to do. So yeah, man, hells to the yeah. Now, again, that's just me. Not a financial advisor, just a guy that loves crypto. So hells to the yeah. This is when, you hang in there, you stay strong. I've said this many times when it comes to crypto or investments, period. If you don't have balls, don't invest. If you don't have the guts of a thief, don't invest. It's just the way it is. So yeah, this is when you invest the most, when it's at its worst. So I am all in, not stopping me. By the way, OK Coin again. I don't know if did I mention yesterday about Star Atlas? Yeah, I did, right? Okay. Well, just in case, for those of you that didn't catch it, if you invested in Star Atlas like I have, shows you how good OK Coin is, and shows you how they're not having any issues either. Like some places also, they just built a bridge for Star Atlas to unload it. That was the only that's the only coins I had on that cryptocurrency exchange that did not have a bridge to unload. In all this craziness, they just built a bridge. I unloaded it all to my Trezor. God, I love that. That was so good that I was able to control all of that. So awesome. So awesome. 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 And if you aren't moving your stuff, like I've told you for the last couple of weeks, off your Giroux signs with the Senators. Wow. 3-year, $6.5 million contract. Claude Giroux. Those moves are looking like shit for Zito. That takes some shine off Zito. If you're going to lose Giroux and you're going to lose damn it, who's the other? No, not Marchman. The other guy they traded for. Benrod or whatever, Benro or whatever, something like that. You know who I'm talking about. Benoit Balls. I don't know, whatever his name is. If you lose those two guys after you traded your picks for them just to rent them and then fail in the playoffs, ooh, doggy, bad look for the GM, unfortunately. So Zito's going to have to make up for it, and I don't know how he does. By the way, for that gentleman that's still worried, Christopher, right now Bitcoin's at 19.5. Good time, bro. Good time. Ethereum's at 1,055. That's badass, dude. Badass. Love it. You know what's a steal right now? Illuvium at $93. That thing was at $1,800. So yeah, there's so many good deals right now. Polygon is at a steal at 55 cents. What a joke. Cardano right now is at 42 cents. I'm loading up on my Cardano. I keep buying Cardano. I keep buying VeChain. VeChain's stuck in the 2-cent area. I don't stop, man. I don't stop. Huddle. Buy, huddle, and wait it out. And eventually my Algorand will explode. My engine coin will explode. Eventually the coins that I've invested in, I feel really, really good about. And they're great companies. And they're all surviving during this bad time. And they're all thriving pretty much. All the ones that I've invested in. So I am set. The Dolphins are going to do some damage. Depends on how well the O-line performs. Amen to that, sir. Amen to that. It's called Huddle. Big O. Yes, sir. Have you guys talked about Kettle talking about 2 bye weeks? Good or bad idea? I don't know who Kettle is. I've talked about 2 bye weeks for years now. And I've always said you need a bye week for the Thursday night game for everybody, and then a second bye week. It should be a 18 game schedule, 18 week season is what I said. Now 19 that you've made it 17. So I don't know who you're talking about, but I've been talking about 2 bye weeks for a long time because I think it's required for Thursday night games to have a bye week. You must have a bye week. A bye week before the Thursday night game, and then you don't need one after because you've got 10 days after that. Did you see that the first James Webb Space Telescope pic? There is a video online that shows a zoom out from how far away that little section is. Amazing how big the universe is. I have not seen it, but I can imagine. Oh, how do you feel about XRP? I'm not an XRP guy because it's in the middle of a lawsuit. Now, yesterday they won a filing against the SEC, which was awesome in their court case. And hopefully everything works out. But XRP, see, the only problem I have with XRP now is they've been in litigation so long with the SEC that other companies that do what they do have caught up a little bit. But XRP is still strong enough that it could be a good investment. The problem I have and why I would never invest in XRP is because there's no way I'm investing in a company that's in the middle of a lawsuit against the SEC. Crypto is stressful enough. Investing, stocks, crypto, whatever is stressful enough. Why am I going to invest in a company that's in the middle of a lawsuit with the SEC? No, I'm not doing that. So that's my real big problem with XRP. It's not that it's a bad company. It's not that I don't like the tokenomics of it or anything. No. All that stuff is solid. But I'm not investing in a company that's in the middle of a lawsuit. So, yeah, that's the only reason why I would stay 8,000 miles away from XRP. You know how many people are losing their ass right now on XRP? They got into it when it was well over $1. It's, I hope that they're able to get back. We'll see. What is the bridge, Big O? Well, the idea is that some cryptos you buy, but you can't move them off the exchange because they have no bridges for you to send them to an external wallet. And so OKCoin, Star Atlas, they didn't have a bridge to move it off. Like I've been able to move off my Cadena, my Polygon, my Avalanche, my Cardano, and Polkadot that I bought all on OKCoin. I moved it all off, but they had bridges in order for me to move it off. Star Atlas did not have a bridge, so it was stuck there on OKCoin. Now, OKCoin is not having any financial issues, like, some of these Celsius and some of these things that have had issues. So, it's one of those like eToro. eToro, I bought Cardano and eToro a couple years ago because Coinbase didn't have it. What was it? Crypto.com didn't have it. So I said, I got to get Cardano, and eToro had it. So I bought it from eToro. Now, eToro did have no bridge to take Cardano off. So back then I was new to it. So I was leaving it there on the exchange. Well, eToro stopped dealing in Cardano and selling Cardano. So then they were forced to build a bridge to move the Cardano for everybody that had Cardano. They weren't going to be forced to sell it. You have to give them the option to move it. So they built a bridge off of eToro, and then I moved all my Cardano onto my Trezor wallet. So that's what the bridge is. That's what allows you to move the cryptocurrencies off the exchanges and into your cold wallet. So that way it's not online and it can't be hacked and it can't be stolen, can't be rigged or anything like that. So there you go. What else do we have? Big O, do you play the slots when you're in Vegas? No, I do not play slots. Slots are not my thing. I am a craps and blackjack guy. Blackjack is my favorite game. Let's see. You think the NFL would do anything to extend the season? A second bye week would be great. Yeah. I think Tyreek is just telling Tua, get me to the playoffs with Waddle. We'll take care of the rest. Well, Jose, those two guys aren't going to be able to take care of everything. You're going to need a running game. You're going to need an offensive line, and you're going to need the other receivers because those guys are going to bring all the attention. So you're going to need Mike Gesicki, and you're going to need Cedric Wilson to help out. You're going to need guys to help out. It can't all be on Waddle and Tyreek. I disagree with that, man. Big O, what are you drinking in Vegas? You seem like a scotch or rum guy. Right there. Not one drink. You've been how many road trips you've been with me now? 4, right? You see me drink something once? Not one time. I drink, but it's very rare, man. It has to be like a real social type setting. Has to be something special, but I'm really not a drinker. Really not a drinker. So, yeah, I have to have a cigar in my hand. That usually I'll have a drink if I have a cigar in my hand. That I'll do. So, yeah, no drinking, my brother. And I'm not a scotch guy either or a rum guy. I'm a vodka guy and a little tequila. So you read me wrong. No scotch, no rum. I like rum. I'm not really much of a scotch guy, but I don't drink a lot of rum. Okay? It'll be, every once in a while. It has to be something like a Zafra or something. It has to be something really good to kind of enjoy a cigar with or something like that, but not really. I don't drink a ton of rum. I can't tell you that. You can't call me a rum drinker. I'll drink it, but I'm not a rum drinker. I'm a vodka drinker. Definitely. And Grey Goose. Cheers to you, Big O. I'll drink this one in your name. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Chad. I get my 2 margaritas a year, and I'm happy. Cuba Libre. There you go. That's a little rum, right? In a Cuba Libre. I think that's the case. All right. When sports and business collide, folks, we do something on this show, and it's called the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. Some folks, when they have success in their careers, they learn how to branch out and become businessmen or women, and they succeed in other areas. And Shaquille O'Neal is one of those guys. And Shaquille O'Neal, look, he's a big, giant human being, but he's also a big, giant personality, right? And he's always been one of those guys that at times is very likable, right? And so Shaq has done a marvelous job of venturing into business, venturing into commercials, a lot of commercials, right? TNT as a broadcaster, even though he's kind of a mumbler more than a broadcaster, but whatever. But he has successfully ventured into many, many ways. Well, he recently moved to Dallas. So now he is going to open up 50 big chicken restaurants in and around the region of Texas. Most of the outlets are expected to be in the location of Dallas and Fort Worth, but it's bound to also spread to other major areas in the Texas region like San Antonio and Houston. Considering this is an O'Neal endeavor, it is bound to have some funny quirks and set apart from other restaurant consumers could go to.
The menu items are going to be very cleverly named, with a Charles Barkley sandwich set to be included. The Barkley sandwich is a fried chicken sandwich with mac and cheese, crispy fried onions, and roasted garlic barbecue aioli. Is that how it's pronounced? Aioli? Aioli? Not sure. Anyway, so Shaq will also have his own. It's a regular fried chicken sandwich with some special sauce, and it's called the MDE sandwich, the most dominant ever. And it's one of the most popular sandwiches, Halpern says. It's one of the simpler options, a fried chicken sandwich with Shaq sauce and pickles. Customers also tend to order a Nashville hot chicken sandwich called the Uncle Jerome, named for O'Neill's bodyguard. And those who are super hungry might order the Charles Barkley, a fried chicken sandwich loaded with mac and cheese. I give Shaq a lot of credit, man, because some guys are not smart about taking advantage of their celebrity, and they don't know how to take advantage. In fact, the other day I had a boxer on, a Puerto Rican boxer on, and we were talking about Tito Trinidad, his fellow compadre from the island. And one of the things that I told him, because he's Americanized, so he's able to communicate and take advantage. But if you're going to be a star in this country, speak the effing language, you fool. You know what I mean? It's just like, what's wrong with you? Like Canelo has been a monster, and he has some advertising, but could you imagine if he actually learned how to speak English? Like, are you dumb or something? Do you want to make a little extra money for your kids and your family? Sure, you make plenty of money boxing, but whatever it is, it's not just boxers. It happens with basketball players and football players, and they don't know how to take advantage of their or entertainers. I mean, look at Dr. Dre, man. Dude's a monster. So yeah, he was great as a rapper, but he's also great as a producer, and then he's also great in business with the headsets. Made a fortune. Smart. You got to be able to use your name and use it in a way where you can then capitalize on all these different things that are out there for you. And Shaquille O'Neal, more power to you, big fella. Nice job by you. That is our KSDT CPA Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
Hey, don't forget, folks, myedgedrink.com, proud sponsor of our show. You see Marcel Louis Jacques here on every week, twice a week, thanks to the great people at Edge Energy Drink, John, and all the amazing people there at Edge Energy Drink. And I'm really excited about the future of Edge. There's going to be some stuff that we're going to be announcing very shortly. And I tell you all the time, and you can order it online. You can't go to any store. Go to myedgedrink.com, get 10% off, use our code BIG, OW, baby. And listen, 78 calories only. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. I can't repeat it enough. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Say it with me. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. And wait till you taste it. You're going to go, wow, this is amazing. And we were talking about rum earlier. That with rum tastes absolutely fantastic. I'm a big vodka guy. I mix it with vodka. You barely taste the vodka. I mean, it's just so awesome. You got to check it out for yourself. It's a great elixir, but it's also, if you need an energy drink to pick you up and very little calories, that's why you got to go to myedgedrink.com. Don't go to a store. You won't find it at a store, but you will get 10% off if you use our code BIG O. myedgedrink.com. Check it out. All right. Big O, who do you think will have the biggest impact on the defense this season? I'm going to go with Javon Holland. I think he's got those instincts that he is going to be all over the place and cause some turnovers. So I would go in that direction, my man. That would be my pick. All right, 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056. Let's see what we got here. I don't know. Somebody sent me something that says no intent. I don't know what that means, but thank you anyways. Couldn't even see some picture they sent me or something. I don't know what the hell. Okay, another one there sending me one about Mario. Thank you, sir. I love that. Big O, I saw Zeppelin 3 nights in a row in 77 at Chicago Stadium, but Allman Brothers still my favorite. Perfect take on the Beatles. Thank you. Oh, that was from yesterday. Okay. All right. Another CTSW is listening. Thank you. I appreciate it. 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056. Ray says, Big O, why haven't they re-signed Gesicki to an extension? Do they want to see how he fits in the new offense? You just answered your question. That's it. You don't even have to ask the question when you know the answer. They have no idea. It's a run-heavy offense compared to a pass-heavy offense. Or not pass-heavy, but more pass-oriented than what he's normally played in. And so they got to see if he fits before they give him the money. That's it. Christopher Escobedo says, thanks, Big Papa 100. What, is Big Papa Pump in the chat board somewhere? Christopher says, I own Cardano, ETH, and Decentraland. I just bought more Decentraland today. It's low, bro. Super low. Decentraland it's going to go back and it's going to explode. And when it does, just, metaverse like Star Atlas, Decentraland, I'm in, Engine Coin. What else do I have? Illuvium. I have let me look, because you got to be in the metaverse. If you're gonna I got Decentraland, Gala, Immutable X, Engine Coin, and Star Atlas and Illuvium and ApeCoin. Those are all metaverse coins that I'm in. Big believers in all of those. Okay. Fin Freak, thank you, sir. Appreciate you with the love on the super chat. He says, love the content. Please keep it up. Thank you, sir. Wait till the football season starts. You are going to really love how we turn it up. I know some of you out there, by the way, and I'll give a slight apology to all of this going on, and send Schultz a reminder there. I understand that, some of you out there, because I've gotten here, hey, man, there's not a lot of Dolphins talk. Well, there's really nothing to talk about. And I'm just not the guy that's going to force the Dolphins talk. I'm not going to, is this Tua's make or break year just so I can create Tua talk? I'm not doing that. Other shows may need to do that kind of stuff. Other, outlets may need to do that in order to create, some kind of content for themselves. But I stay in the moment of what's going on in all sports. Obviously, it all centers around the Dolphins and the NFL on the show. We all know that's number one, and then the Heat and the Canes and all that. And then everything else, really, it's Dolphins, Canes, Heat, and then everything else kind of goes around those three. But, the Dolphin content, I'm just not the guy to force the Dolphin content. I'm not going to create Dolphin content when there's nothing there going on. And to play the hypothetical game the entire time, it's lame. It's lame radio. And I don't have a lot of commercials, so I can actually, do these kind of things. I should do those kind of things, right? Because I don't do a lot of commercials. I do a lot of content. And whereas, if you listen to traditional radio, it's very little content, mostly commercials and fluff in there. So I get it that I could probably get away with more of that kind of stuff, but it's just not my style. Don't create controversy just to create controversy. And I don't create fake talk when it's not there. So I will wait till the team actually takes the field, or they actually are making real negotiations with something, or they signed somebody, or they traded for somebody, or they might be looking at a free agent, something that is reality. But to sit here and break down whether Mostert or Cam or whoever else is going to get more yards or more touches and try to guess on that now is ridiculous. What if somebody gets injured out of those three guys? It's like, okay, well, we spent our time talking about it and it meant nothing, you know? All right, let me take a quick break here on the program. Give me a couple minutes here on the show. We do want to tell you about Blue Chew. That's right, folks. If you need a little help in the bedroom, and listen, maybe you need a little confidence. Maybe you haven't been performing as well as you would like, and you want maybe a little help in the bedroom. You got to call my friends at Blue Chew. You don't have to call. You just got to go online. BlueChew.com. That's right. The unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets at a fraction of the cost. And you can take them day or night. Listen, you can plan ahead, or you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. That's right. Now, the process is simple. Go to BlueChew.com. You get to consult with one of our licensed medical providers. Once you're approved, you will receive the prescription within days. Best part, it's all done online. No visits to the doctor's office. You have those awkward conversations. Or how about when you're in the pharmacy waiting in line and then you got to explain? No. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to you in a discreet package, folks. So get off the couch, get back to work in that bedroom, folks, and let's give that tool the upgrade it needs. Yeah, baby. Go to BlueChew.com. And for Big O listeners, you want to give her the Big O? All you got to do right now, here's something free. Try Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code Big O at checkout. All you're going to do is pay $5 for shipping. Try BlueChew.com, promo code Big O. Receive the first month for free. BlueChew.com. Go to there for more details and safety information. And we thank the great people at Blue Chew for supporting our show.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at FLPDjobs.com. That's FLPDjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
What? Oh, look.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're gonna run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. We continue with our coverage live from Las Vegas with our Slomans.com NBA Summer League. Slomans Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
All right, we're back. By the way, Ho Yoon, thank you, sir. As always, giving us a little love on Venmo, which, of course, you can always make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. You can, by the way, you can donate Bitcoin through Cash App if you want. Cash Big O Show. You want to donate a little Bitcoin, maybe a little Ethereum. It's cheap, whatever. You can do, instead of making a donation through cash, you purchase Bitcoin and send it to us. That's fine with me too, man. Cash Big O Show. If you want to do that, nobody's done that yet. You guys have made all kinds of donations. Obviously, nobody's done crypto yet. I'm dying to get a Bitcoin Cash App. That would be funny, man, because nobody's done that, and that's so modern, so 2022, that you would do something like that. Big O, what are your favorite album covers? I think Iron Maiden has the best album covers I've seen, but I'm a young man. What do I know? I mean, they are some of the best. Molly Hatchet has some of the best album covers out there, man. Their Journey, I think. I like Journey's style with the different kinds of, I don't know what they are, bugs or birds or whatever the hell it is. It all depends. Yes, I think has some really creative covers. Maiden is definitely one of my favorites for sure. Let me see, and Hatchet for sure. I'm trying to think of some of the others that are really, really good, and they do a good job with the album covers. I'll think about that. one. That's an interesting one. But you're in the ballpark with Maiden for sure. I don't know if they would be the best or whatever, but they're definitely one of the best. Guaranteed. Big O, did you see the video of Tua working with the receivers and our running backs? Great to see them ready for camp. Yes, I've seen all kinds of videos, and I can't wait, my brother. Can't wait. Dolphin 5413 says, Big O, if you could bring back any dead rock star, who would that be? Jimi Hendrix. The godfather of the electric guitar, the guy that was ahead of everybody else by miles and miles and miles and miles. He was doing stuff that nobody did, and he influenced people like nobody would when it comes to guitar. So I would go with Jimi Hendrix, man. Plus, he personifies cool. Like Jimi Hendrix is like just cool, man. I would love to see Jimi Hendrix. It's laid back, just shredding and singing, and terrific band overall. But Hendrix would, I don't even have to hesitate. That there's nobody else that I would rather bring back than Jimi Hendrix. No one. And listen, I saw Eddie Van Halen crap ton of times, so maybe somebody else might say Eddie Van Halen. Somebody might say Freddie Mercury, you know? And how could I argue with any of those? But I'm going to go Jimi Hendrix. I'm going to definitely go Jimi Hendrix. We are awaiting Jordan Schultz. Maybe he's half Cuban right now. I don't know. Let's see. What else do we have? And if you're Cuban out there, don't take it as an insult. So am I. It is what it is. We're late to everything. So chill out. Big O, what is the ceiling and floor for the Dolphins this year, record-wise? Paul, why don't we wait to find out who is healthy at the end of training camp and the preseason? Then we will make all those things. Again, the hypothetical talk that has no substance, that's for another show. You know, once I'm done with the preseason, then I know who's healthy and who's not. And I've watched them play in training camp and I've watched them play throughout the preseason. Then I'm going to have a better feel for the team. Then I can make a more educated opinion about it. But there are plenty of shows that'll do that kind of silly talk at this point on any substance to know and make all those guesses and waste your time talking about it and waste my time talking about it. Big O, gotta love Alcantara. Just wish we could score some freaking runs sometimes, though. Do you think they could be buyers for a couple of bats? I don't know. They have to show me that they're willing to do it, my brother. They haven't shown me that. I got to see it. You know? What else do we have? Wish we could have MJ back. Oh, you mean Michael Jackson? Okay. I can see that's a legitimate one there that you can talk about. Baker Mayfield. I thought it was funny. Baker Mayfield says that he will have no animosity towards the Cleveland Browns. You know, I saw that story and I just started laughing when they asked him about playing against Cleveland the first week, and he says, do you have any animosity? He says, no animosity. They're the team that drafted me and gave me my first 4 years of my career. And to that I say, Baker, you're a bullshitter and you're a liar. Because it's only human nature that you would want to stick it to the Browns. When I saw that story, I said, come on, man. Are you kidding me? Of course you want to stick it to them. That's it. Why lie about it? That's the part I don't get. Because it's worse by doing this. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he's trying to turn a new leaf because he's been Mr. I open my mouth all the time and say all kinds of stupid shit. And so maybe he's trying to start a fresh, start here and not carry over the animosity that he surely must have deep down inside. Come on, man. You wanted to get traded the second you found out that they were trying to trade for Deshaun Watson. So of course you have animosity. You think I have any animosity towards what's it called? Odyssey? Because I don't dislike anybody on the radio over there. I got nothing against Crowder or whoever, any of the guys there, Hawk or Rose or Zach. They're terrific people, man. Got nothing against them, but definitely got some against Odyssey. Yeah, there's no doubt. I got plenty against that shitty company and against their garbage PD that doesn't know shit about radio. And so, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got animosity. But at least I have the balls to admit it. I love it. I love that we download more than their entire station combined. I love that we travel and have a budget and they don't. I love that we have all the insiders and they've got none. But at least I have the balls to admit what any normal human being would do or think. That if somebody quit on you when they shouldn't, you should have animosity towards them. And you should want your revenge against them. And so, Baker Mayfield, don't bullshit me that you don't have any animosity towards Cleveland. You should. You were all effed up last year. You were injured, you took a beating, and you stayed in there. You had no reason to keep playing. Baker's not the kind of quarterback like a Ben Roethlisberger, a Cam Newton, and not that Cam's a great quarterback, but what I'm talking about, he fits this bill. I would imagine that Justin Herbert will be like that too, or Josh Allen, and I've already seen Josh Allen do this, that you get hit and you're kind of hurt, whatever, but you can still make throws because you're a big guy. So you're able to overcome all that. Baker's not that kind of guy. So when he's injured, it's going to really limit him. And yet he was out there selling out for his team. And then the first second they get the crap on him, they did. You're not going to have animosity? Get out of here, dude. You know, there are times where I just respect somebody for being honest. It may not be the perfect thing to say, but deep down inside, it's better than lying. Right? Because that's what you're doing if you're Baker Mayfield. You are lying. You're lying to everybody. You should say, yeah, no, I'll definitely be motivated to play against those guys. There's no doubt that's the kind of game you want to win. You want to send a message to them. How many times do guys say, no, I want to make those teams that passed up on me in the draft pay? How many times have they said that? And really, they shouldn't have that kind of animosity because it's not like he played for them. It was just a pick that they passed on you. They took somebody else for another reason, maybe a position or whatever, a different position of need. You're supposed to have animosity. You should have animosity. And most of us, by the way, will be rooting for Baker Mayfield in that matchup. And here's the caveat to all of that. Thank the Lord the Dolphins did not make the move for Deshaun Watson because most of the country would be rooting against us. Most of the country would think the Dolphins are despicable, just like the Browns are right now. Most of the country would think the Dolphins are a joke because they gave a guy with 24 lawsuits and 2 more that are out there a fully guaranteed contract. All that hate that they're getting, we would be getting that hate. So thank the Lord, that's also not part of the mix here. Leon Fresco, thank you for a little love in the super chat, my man. Says, did Kyle Lowry look skinnier at the golf event? Yeah, and also there was a video of him shooting, and he looks lighter. Yes, he does. I mean, he should. You can't look like me and play point guard. You can't, dude. It's just not the right thing to do. People that look like me do not play NBA point guard. In fact, they don't play in the NBA, period. So, yeah. Let's see. Nelson Alfonso. Only Sean is summer LG standout. What about Morrissey? Oh, well yeah. But you asked me about Summer League. You know, Morrissey's not really performing in the Summer League, but it was one hell of a performances because seeing Morrissey 3 times last week was, man, I got to tell you, that was awesome. That was awesome. Rosendo, you would bring back Jim Morrison. That's a good one. Can't argue with that one. Love me 2 times. I'm going away. J15 says, I'm not a huge fan of 560 or 790, but I enjoy Tobin. Tobin's a good dude, man. Yeah, he does a great job. Fun guy. Does a good job. And he works his ass off. Okay? One of the hardest working people I have ever seen in our business is Tobin. I admire that dude's work ethic in a big time way. Sad part is he's working for a company that will not appreciate him whatsoever, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. Yeah, it's just part of working in that business. You know. Sean McDonald says, Big O, what game are you looking forward to the most this season? We have a few good revenge games. Sean, I'm looking forward to a good season, bro. It's not about a game. It's not just about Tua having a good year. It's not just about Tyreek having a good year or Jalen Phillips getting 12 sacks. I'm tired of an average team. I'm tired of mediocre teams. I'm tired of average to mediocre seasons. I need a great season. That's what I need. I need double-digit wins. I need to get into the playoffs. I need to win a playoff game or two. This year, they're going to win 4 of them, but, that's besides the point. Well, 3. They'll win the division, and, they'll surprise the Bills and win 2 more. Yeah, so we'll go with that. No, seriously. I just want a good season, my brother. I don't care about any specific game. They're all important, all 17 of them. And you got to try to win as many as you can. But I'll tell you this. Here's something that besides looking forward to a great Dolphins season, I want you to perform well and win more often than not against the good teams. Because many times over the last 10 plus years, I've watched you win against the shitty teams mostly, and you mostly lose against the bad teams, which kind of tells me what you are and what you've been for a long time now. I had fun years ago with a video from the Steeler Wheels called Stuck in the Middle, and that's kind of what we've been. You're not the shitty teams, and you're not the playoff teams. You're right in the middle. 8, 9, 10 wins, right in the middle. And I want to get out of the middle. Don't want to be shitty. Don't want to be middle. I want to be good and great. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to a good season, and I'm looking forward to watching the Dolphins win against good teams. That's what's going to start making me feel good. Okay? University of Miami, by the way, is kind of in the same thing. I need to see you start beating the elite teams so you can get to, bowl games that matter, win the conference, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm looking for. Rod Bud says, I was so thrilled we didn't trade for Watson. The guy's a creep. I'm with you. I was, as you all know, those of you that watch this show every day, I was never for Watson. Now? Yeah. Okay. What's it called? So, yeah, and then Rob says, we love your work ethic, Big O. Well, thank you, sir. I try to follow Sean Stanley. Miami jumps to number 7 in 247 team recruiting rankings after Raul Aguirre's commitment. Mario's absolutely killing it. He is, bro. Sean, he has just been absolutely amazing. He's ready to go? Okay. All right. Who's your favorite play-by-play announcer on radio for the Dolphins, Big O? There's only one, bro. It's third down and a cab ride, baby. That's it. The original. That's who I will always go with. All right, let's go with the original. And there's only one Craig Mish. And he's on with us every week. Let's step into the batter's box, the Welt and Realm batter's box with Craig Mish next.
Time to step in the batter's box with one of the best insiders covering Major League Baseball and the Miami Marlins, Craig Mish. The batter's box is brought to you by Welt and Realm Attorneys at Law. Personal injury, bankruptcy, or criminal defense. Call for a free consultation. 954-966-4646 or go online at WRFLAlaw.com. Here's insider Craig Mish.
Alrighty, there he is. All right, let's tap the cleats. Let's Let's tighten the gloves. Let's get ready. Let's do our own Terry Pendleton and step right into the batter's box with Craig Mish. How are you doing, young man?
Doing well. I'm going to say 30% of the people who watch this and listen know who Terry Pendleton is. 30%.
That's a pretty high number.
You think less?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately,
I was too generous. 10%.
Yeah, about 10 or 15%. Because I think people that are young, last 15, 20 years, they may not even know who the hell Terry Pendleton is, bro.
Probably true. You're probably right. I probably shot too high there.
Yeah. It has to be our older listeners that are really into baseball too. On top of all of that,
I think you have to be definitely above 30 years old. Definitely have to be above 30 to know who he is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Unless you're the son of a seam head like your kid,
He may not know who he is. He may not know.
But I'm saying he has to be a hardcore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the only kids that are going to know who the hell Terry Pendleton is.
I don't think my son does. It's a good question. After we're done, I'm going to ask him.
Okay. That's a good one. And then don't tell. Well, actually, you know what? When he struggles to sleep, just put a Terry Pendleton at bat for him, and that'll put him. That is the cure for insomnia, I'm told.
Yeah. He and Nomar were the two guys, right?
Yeah, bro. Nomar was another one that was just, oh my God, pain in the ass. Thank God for the clock nowadays. All right. So great news, man. Garrett Cooper makes it to the All-Star game. Braun ends up getting the fractured thumb, so he gets in. I thought Harper. That was Harper. I'm sorry, Braun. I'm thinking Bryce Braun. Bryce Harper gets the thumb injury, and he gets in. I got to tell you something. I did not expect three If you told me at the beginning of the season the Marlins are going to have 3 All-Stars.
How about maybe 4?
Wait a minute. What's happening now?
I think they listen. There's a possibility that there's another pitcher in the National League that could bow out. They could consider Pablo Lopez. I don't know this to be fact. I'm speculating, but they could get 4 before Monday.
Wow, that's fair. Well, okay, let's just stick to 3.
Yeah.
I would have never believed it because I wasn't sure that, Sandy's the only guy that I would have thought, well, outside of Sandy, who? Because we're not sure that Jazz was going to explode and be what he's become and all that stuff. You just don't know. So that's, and then this is what it leans to. It's like, damn, dude, if you spend a little bit more, you're doing a pretty good job overall. The trades have brought you a couple players. Obviously, Garrett's been a nice pickup overall. You've got some guys in the minors that are developing. It's just, you just say, man, just open the wallet a little bit. But then we get to the dilemma that you talked about because it still rears its ugly head. You're not really winning the series against a good team still.
Yeah.
Overall. And that's, ultimately that's who you're going to face in the playoffs.
But you know what? But to your point, I will say that you're on the right track, but you're on the wrong train. So So what I would say to your point is that if only they, which is what you started off with, I think that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
But if only they had made a trade or 2 more, I think that is something that they could have done.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Yeah, I think, right. So like the spending, I just don't think that they were going to do it. Right. So I think you're accurate there. I don't know that spending more would have been the answer. I mean, I really don't. But had they traded for a center fielder before the season, had they traded maybe for, the closer they've had now has done a good job, but had they traded for another.
The money brings an Avisail Garcia. So if you can't really come through with the money, you probably can get more talent by trading talent.
Right. They have guys to trade. They could have done that. And maybe by doing that, and I'm not saying that they could have, because I don't think that the teams that they talked to were willing to give them the players they wanted for what they wanted to give up. And that's a dynamic that we could fight over. Well, they should have done it or they shouldn't have done it. Who knows? Who really knows the answer? I'm not in those rooms to be able to tell you one way or the other. But had they made a couple of more moves, forget the money. I that's the question that I think that they probably are kicking themselves a little bit, asking themselves, had we, Brian Reynolds is the name that everyone talks about, but had we traded for Brian Reynolds, I don't think they could have, but had we gotten him, what would the record have been? Had they traded for Ramon Laureano on Oakland, what would the record have been? And if you tell yourself that the record would be 44-40 as opposed to 40-44, they would be in the wild card position right now.
Right.
And instead, they're not. and the last 2 days have really poured a bucket of cold water on this thing. Like, I mean, even splitting with Pittsburgh at this point, Orlando is, sort of unacceptable for what they were going into this week. They have 17 games left.
The thing about Pittsburgh is they're terrible. But one of the things I've mentioned to people over the last couple of weeks, because I've won some bets with them, they can score runs. Actually, they score runs. So you have to be careful with them because they're kind of dangerous in that sense. Even though they're a bad team, they can still get you in trouble every once. And if you're the Marlins that really can't score runs, that becomes a problem for you when you face even a bad team like Pittsburgh that can actually produce some runs.
They're holding leads. Their bullpen has been very good after 5-6 innings. They're just not giving up, not giving up runs. And really, you hate to say it this way because we got a lot of baseball to go, but we're almost at the halfway point. We're past the halfway point. We're almost at the All-Star break. And I never wanted it to be this way because I was hopeful that when they played the Angels and they played the Mets and they played the Pirates and now they got the Phillies coming up. But, I'm going to look back on the first half of the season and I'm going to say that they made a lot of progress. They fought with all of the good teams in baseball. They were outs away from winning against the very good teams in baseball. Philadelphia, San Diego, the New York Mets. They've lost a lot of close games that way. Definitely true. They've held our interest until the 9th inning. Much more competitive than last year. Definitely true. That is definitely a positive. The negative is that this team essentially beat the Washington Nationals in the first half of the season, 12 out of 13 games, and had a really hard time beating everybody else. I mean, that is really, unfortunately, kind of where this thing is at. I mean, you could see, Orlando, that Pittsburgh is far better than Washington. Like, they are battling this team like tooth and nail. Their pitching is much better. Maybe part of that is just Miami's gone cold here for a couple days, and we're going to see. And and I didn't want it to be this way. I didn't want to carry that narrative into the All-Star break.
Yeah, but you've been on that from the get-go. You've been telling everybody, relax. They're not beating the good teams. They're not.
They're just not. But they're coming very close. They're very, very close. They're definitely playing up to their competition. Until this point, they had not played down to their competition, which is something that bad teams do. Like, they'll play up to the good teams and then lose to the bad teams. They beat up on Colorado. They beat up on Washington, as I mentioned. And I thought that this week they'll beat Pittsburgh 3 out of 4, right? And then they'll play Philadelphia. Who knows? But now we're starting to see that crack a little bit here, and they have got to win the next 2 games here. They cannot lose 3 out of 4 to Pittsburgh. That cannot happen.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. Where is Jazz? Because I know he hasn't played, and then there's talk he might play in the All-Star game. What are you hearing?
I don't think so. He's in Jupiter. He's I think on the right track in terms of where he is at, but the indication that tells you that a player is close to returning, and listen, we could just use the situation with Jorge Soler. Soler is right now on a rehab assignment with Pensacola. He played last night. He's going to play again tonight, and I'm guessing he'll be back Friday for the weekend, right? Like, that's how it works in baseball when you're out for Jazz been out for weeks for a period of time. He hasn't hit a rehab assignment yet. And so it does not take a genius to say, well, when is that rehab assignment going to start for Jazz? Let's say hypothetically it starts Friday or it starts Saturday. Orlando, you must be on an active roster to play in the All-Star game, and he's not. So I don't think – listen, I hope he plays. He'll definitely be there. But I don't think he's going to actually play in the game. He's got to start a rehab assignment like now, and I think they'd have to activate him Sunday. It just doesn't seem like the timing is there.
Yeah, no, that's why. And in a way, it's not really a good look. You know what I mean? That you're missing the games and then you go play for the All-Star game, and that's not a good look. But
they need him more. The Marlins need him more. He can go have fun at the game and get all dressed up and have a great time. He'll still be one of the stars of the game in terms of who he is.
And they'll introduce him and all that, right? So
of course, it'll be a great accomplishment. It'll be fantastic for him.
It is a great accomplishment.
But how I don't see how he can play in this game. I know he wants to, but he hasn't. I mean, he's got to go to Double A or Triple A for a few days and get his swing back and all that. And he's going to do that at the All-Star game. I mean, again, he's got to be active Sunday, so the time is pretty much up here.
All right, I know what your theory is, but what is the reality that you're hearing from them? Now that we're getting closer and closer to the end of this month, we're almost halfway now. Are they going to be buyers or are they going to be sellers?
I think it'll be. I mean, right now we have no idea because there's still 17 games left. I know it's a terrible answer from me, but there's 17 games left, and if they go 14-3, they're buyers. They go 3-14, they're sellers. They go somewhere in the middle, they may do nothing. I mean, that's really possible. I think they are still going to roll this thing right down to August 1st and then make the decision there. Now, with 17 games left, realistically speaking, if you just go through their season, a lot of it, again, are these big winning streaks, and in Washington in those, and then coming off them losing. It's just strange the way that this has worked out. So somebody asked me what their record would need to be in the next 17 games for them to be like legitimate buyers at the deadline. And honestly, I mean, 10-7, I don't think that's enough. I mean, they'd still be under 500 if they're 10-7. So I get the sense.
How many games against the Nationals over the next 17?
None. None. They do play the Reds. I think
Reds aren't that, bro. I lost my Yankee game yesterday because that stupid bullpen, that one guy gave up 4 earned runs. I had that game in the bag. I gave the run and a half. I had it set, and Garrett Cole did his job, and that damn bullpen, that one guy screwed it up. I forgot his name now, but Jesus, Reds are dangerous there. They got it. Although I went back to the well today. Today I took the Yankees -1.5 with Severino on the mound against Mike Minor. What, you like that one?
Against Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they'll bounce back. I don't know. I'm never on the Yankees because you're never getting any value with them. Everybody bets them, and so.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm not betting the money line. I'm just laying the run and a half. They should win by 2 runs. They were winning by 2 runs yesterday.
Yeah, maybe so.
3-0. That damn guy came apart completely and gave up. He didn't even get an out, bro.
Yeah. So somewhere in the middle for me. I don't know. In 2 weeks, I'll have a much better feeling on it. I think they'd like to be buyers, but I mean, I don't know. Like, how could you do that and buy what? Like,
right.
Sacrifice guys for next year for 50 or 60 games when you're 500 or close to it, and you're still chasing a bunch of teams. I don't know. I always wonder why if they want to be a buyer, just go get somebody now. Like, what's the rush? I mean, I'm sorry. Why wait? Do it now. Get better now. Win these games now. But
exactly. That's it. Yeah. And I think that in a way, we've been in this position before where the Marlin fan is being teased by some of the young players and some of the potential, but then we don't get that last move to put them over the hump. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we're waiting for. At least with Huizinga, you knew that he was going to spend and try. All the other owners have not been that way, and that's kind of what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that guy that is or that family that owns the team, and it's kind of a toy for them. It's a hobby for them. You know what I mean? I don't know if Bruce Sherman looks at this as a hobby. I think he looks at this as a very serious business that he needs to, balance for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he wants to win. I know he does, but you got to balance that also with like, are the Marlins going to win the World Series this year? The answer is most likely not. So what are we doing here on August the 2nd? Like, are you really sacrificing a lot to just try? And you know me, I want a playoff game badly here as much as anything. It's 5 years already of no playoff games. I know they made it in 2020, but those games they played, the playoffs were in Chicago and Atlanta because of the pandemic. So I get the sense they're probably not going to sell. Maybe they'll move a few pieces of expiring contracts. Like, that seems to be something they probably should do, Orlando, because they're not going to be back next year. But the main piece that they thought probably going into this season, as far as an expiring contract that they could have traded, would have been Jesus Aguilar. But he just has not had a good year at all. And he's still owed almost $4 million. So that's just, what team is going to say, we'll take him and the $4 million and give you something back? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem realistic, but we'll see. 17 games to go. I think they probably got to go like 12-5 to realistically think that they have a chance. That'd be my 12-5 sounds fair.
So after we talked about Terry, Paul McIntosh chimes in with Atlanta Braves. Harold Wiley, Atlanta, third base. Omar says Terry Pendleton, third base for Braves. Played for Marlins and Cardinals. Rosendo, Terry Pendleton, NL MVP.
There you go.
Paul McIntosh. Oh, no, he didn't say anything about Terry. Oh, Brett says Pendleton underrated as well overall.
He was MVP in the National League.
Yeah. He says Pendleton, Rivas says Pendleton was a great baseball player. He was amazing with the Cardinals, even more with the Braves. So we had a couple of.
That's not true. He was better with the Cardinals than he was with the Braves.
Rivas is a young guy. He's
actually, he may have. Who did he win MVP with? Did he win MVP with the Braves? Maybe I misspoke on that one. He may have won MVP. He won the MVP.
I know Rosendo is responsible. So if Rosendo says he won MVP, he's one of those guys.
No, I know he won MVP, but the Terry Pendleton's MVP was back when it was a strict popularity contest. And that year, Bonds was brutal with the media. He was brutal that year, and they refused to vote for. I mean, check out Bonds versus Pendleton that year. There's no chance anybody would vote for Pendleton, but Bonds was rough. That's what I heard to deal with that year, and the writers voted for Pendleton.
By the way, Bonds was rough every year to deal with.
And he won 1 million MVPs after that too. But that year in particular was supposedly like, I don't know.
Who would ever pick Terry Pendleton as a player over Barry Bonds? Are you kidding me?
But he was not the MVP over Barry Bonds,
which is ridiculous. But all right, that's interesting right there. That's a nice little nugget out of all of it. All right, follow him on Twitter at Craig Mish. Subscribe to the podcast, Swings and Mishes. What else are you working on the Sports Grid and everything else? Tell them.
Yep, Sports Grid every day, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern on Fantasy Sports Today. We're shifting over to fantasy football talk coming up in a couple of weeks. We're going to start firing up some fantasy football. I think we're getting there. We're almost time. Yeah. And then 2 to 3 Eastern, I'll be hosting Newswire every day on sportsgrid.com. For those of you who follow me for my Marlins stuff, I'll have a column in the Herald tomorrow on the draft coming up on Sunday and candidates as to who the Marlins may end up taking, and also some updates on some other things happening with them, and then a podcast on Friday as well. But I am going to the All-Star game, so I'll be leaving Friday, and then I'll be back late Wednesday or early Thursday or something of the following week. So you and I will have to see if we can schedule something.
We'll figure it out, bro. We're digital, baby. We adjust.
Yeah.
We adjust. It's all good. We'll take care of that. That's not an issue. That's not a problem. By the way, Sean did look it up and confirmed it was 91 with the Braves. He did.
There we go. 91 with the Braves. Now, what I would ask Sean to do is take a look at Barry Bonds' numbers versus Terry Pendleton's numbers and explain to me how in the world Terry Pendleton won the MVP. No disrespect to Terry Pendleton whatsoever.
I got you. I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah. It's just the thought of it sounds ridiculous. That's all. Just comparing the two players, and Terry was a hell of a player, but Barry Bonds is a legend, dude. With a big head or not, the guy was a 5-tool player before the roids.
Marlins hitting coach Barry Bonds, remember that?
Yeah, apparently he was a terrible hitting coach.
It did not go well.
Yeah. You're gonna have to tell us some of those bad stories that you heard about Bonds.
One story I'll tell.
Okay, go ahead.
Before we go,
yes,
is this is what I heard. Again, secondhand story. Okay. So they report to spring training the year that he was the hitting coach. I'm going to say this was 17 or 16, I don't know, one of those 2 years. And this was all the owner, Jeffrey Luria, who wanted this to happen, and he wanted to find a way to get Barry Bonds back in the game. And things went sour over the course of the season, which we can do hours on. But they get to spring training, and Bonds is staying in Jupiter somewhere, I don't know where. And, every day he goes to the park, whatever. And so the end of spring training comes, and Barry Bonds goes, I think it was David Sampson, I'm pretty sure. David would have to confirm this, but he goes to David Sampson or somebody in the Marlins organization, and he goes on the table, and it's like he just like you putting your cards on the table. He just goes, boom, and he puts something on the table, and they're like, what is this? And he's like, those are my receipts. And they're like, what for? And it's like my parking receipts for this entire month. And I guess that they're going through the receipts, and it's like $1, 80 cents, $2, $1, $3, $4. That's what I heard.
Now, like a total of $40 for the month.
And they were like, what? And they were like, what? Like, Barry Bonds? Like literally, dude, we just hired, like, you have not had a job in 10 years. You may not have another job in 10 years, and you're giving us receipts for like $1? Again, just stories. Can't confirm true or not, but that's something I heard. There you go.
Bonds, Pendleton. Pendleton 319, Bonds 292. 363 on base percentage to Bonds 410.
410.
Slugging,
can you imagine in this day and age 410 doesn't win the MVP?
Yeah. Slugging 517 to Bonds 514. Okay. Runs, Pendleton at 94, Bonds 95. Home runs, Pendleton 22, Bonds 25. RBIs, Pendleton 86, Bonds 116. Yeah. Stolen bases, Pendleton 10, Bonds 43.
43? I'd like to talk to the
and by the way, this is before roids.
Yes.
Actually. So
yes.
This is before his head grew and all that stuff, because Bonds he didn't need the stupid roids, bro.
He was incredible.
He wasn't going to be, I know he wasn't going to become a home run king. Nobody cared. He didn't need to be a home run king. The guy was a 5-tool player. But because chicks dig the long ball and all that shit, he had to get involved in that.
Yeah, it's I mean, he in our era. I mean, look, you go back 70s and 80s too, but in our like really like grown person era, more or less. I mean, Buns and Griffey were just on the Rushmore, on the Mount Rushmore of best hitters I ever saw.
And with those two and Will Clark, I would go with sweetest swings ever.
Will Clark, great swing for sure.
Oh my God!
Short, not the shelf life that you would have thought for him, but
no. But I put Will Clark in there with those guys. Will Clark also had
probably not for me.
Beautiful swing,
left-handed.
Yeah, but it was beautiful, dude. He had a gorgeous swing, man. The kid from the Dodgers, I love his swing.
Bellinger.
Yeah, Court Bellinger. Yes, love his
uppercut there.
Yeah. But those were sweet swings. All right, follow him on Twitter at Craig Mish as always. Craig, I appreciate you, my brother. We will catch up next week.
Sounds good. Be well. Thank you for having me,
my man. There you go, the Mishmeister. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Craig Mish. We step out of the batter's box.
You've been listening to the Batter's Box with MLB and Marlins insider Craig Mish. The Batter's Box is brought to you by Welton Rayom Attorneys at Law. Personal injury, homeowners, or condo property damage, bankruptcy, or criminal defense. Call for a free consultation at 954-966-4646 or go online at WRFLA.com. Download any episode by subscribing to our podcast at Big O Radio Show on most platforms.
All right. Thank you out there. Daryl says he was jealous over McGuire and Sosa's headlines. That's when he started. Yep, exactly, David. He was jealous about all the attention the home run guys were getting, and it's funny because he got his home run title crap, but it comes with an asterisk. Nobody believes that he really earned it because he cheated to get to it, and he didn't need to do any of that. That's the amazing part about Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds did not need to take any juice whatsoever, bro. He had all the natural juice you needed. So he wasn't going to be a great home run hitter. So he was going to be a 25, 30 home run guy. That's great anyways. And if you do it for your entire career, you're going to put up a ton of home runs as it is. But his average, his defense, his on base, everything was outstanding. He was a clean, elite 5-tool player. He was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Here's the funny part. He's not in the Hall of Fame. He would have already been in the Hall of Fame first ballot. You didn't need to cheat. The Lord gave you the ability to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. You had to alter that, didn't you? You were already Godzilla. You were already King Kong. You were already whatever big monster you could come up with. You didn't have to become bigger, bro. You didn't need it. You're Barry Bonds. You were super gifted. That's the weirdest thing about Barry Bonds. He would have already been in the Hall of Fame, Everybody would have celebrated his career. Everybody would have loved the guy. Everybody would admire the guy like they do with Ken Griffey. And yet, now you're not admired. You're ostracized. You're looked at as a cheater. People don't like you. All that kind of stuff. Like you did you just screwed everything up, and you didn't have to. Like you had it made. You're Cade McNown at the Playboy Mansion. Now, some of you are going, what the hell's he talking about? Well, Cade McNown was a former USC quarterback that was drafted by the Bears. Never really made any great moves in the NFL. And he was part of that Canes game that Edgerrin James rushed for 299 yards. McNown was there. Danny Farmer was one of the quarterbacks, and Cal Poly Dixon, if I remember correctly, right? And so McNown was invited to the Playboy Mansion. The guy was such a jerk, he got kicked out of the Playboy Mansion. You're already in heaven, and you pissed off heaven, and they kicked you out. That's the equivalent. You're in the Playboy Mansion. Your job is to get to the grotto with a girl. Come on, buddy. What's going on with you? Relax. Take it easy. You're in the Playboy Mansion. They're all over the place. You're a starting quarterback in the NFL. You got to be able to get laid in the grotto, bro. Come on. That is a bucket list thing for most men in this world. Not anymore because, the whole thing is gone. I'm sure the mansion is there and all that, but there are no real Playboy parties anymore. So, it's not the same. Without Hef there and the debauchery going on, it's not the same anymore. Well, Cade McNown had it all. He was at the Playboy Mansion. He was at the pinnacle of the place that all men want to be at for one night or two or three or four or five. And he gets kicked out of the Playboy Mansion. That alone should make Cade McNown like just ultimate loser for the rest of his life. When you get invited to the Playboy Mansion, you do everything to, try to move in and live. So there you go. Bobby Bowe was awesome too. Plus, he still gets paid by the Mets. Yes, he does. Bonds is responsible for getting us Sandy Alcantara and Jazz. He turned Ozuna into an MVP candidate who was flipped for those two. Bonds, Marlins legend. Yeah, Andy. Andy, I've noticed that you say a lot of really crazy shit already. Like stuff that he was a terrible hitting coach. He made nobody better on that team. Literally, you do not know anything about what went on with Bonds behind the scenes. Big O, for some, the world is not enough. You are so correct, sir. But Bonds had it in athletics, and McNown had it for the ultimate experience of a man. And they ruined both of them. I'm telling you. Bonds and Lance Armstrong executed the same plan to perfection. Take some of the greatest physical skills and talent for a sport and F it all up cheating with drugs that weren't even needed. Although the only thing I would disagree with you on this, Dougie Fresh. I don't know if Lance Armstrong wins one or two Tour de France's without the drugs. I know Barry Bonds wins Gold Gloves. He goes to the Hall of Fame. He's listed as one of the greatest players of all time. He would have been first ballot in, all of that if he doesn't take the juice. He didn't need the juice to be one of the greats, where we have to think that Lance Armstrong needed the juice to be in the Miguel Indurain category or any of the other, any other great cyclist. I'm sorry. I'm done. Yeah, I know Greg LeMond for our guy, but Miguel Indurain had 4, I believe. So I'm saying that kind of stuff. The fact that I remember Miguel Indurain and Cal Poly Dixon and Danny Farmer in the last 5 minutes, I'm just saying. I don't know how some of that shit sticks in my head, bro. I really don't. I have no idea how it all stays in there, how it's all filed in there. By the way, Nature B, maybe that's the reason. Maybe taking Nature B every single day. Maybe that's helping my brain matter or something, being able to keep everything in there. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals and powerful antioxidants. And what I love is it supports great nutrition. Helps you with your digestion every single day, supports your immune system. On top of all of that, you got maybe it eases up on those squeaky joints, and old sports injuries will help you. Stronger nails, smoother skin, fuller hair, folks. Even for us older folks, no 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock fade. None of that going on. You're going to have energy throughout the day. I take my Nature B every day. I take it serious. And you know, I always tell you this. My favorite part about Nature B, it boosts that immune system. And I don't care that I didn't have the 2 vaccinations and the 2 boosts years ago because I've been taking this for 20 years. But I still, even with my vaccines, even with my boost shots, I'm still taking Nature B every single day because I do radio every day and I want the voice to be fine every single day. So this is what you're going to do. Go to natureb.com right now. Use our promo code BIGO. You order 2 months, you get the 3rd month for free and free shipping. 2 months you buy, you get the 3rd month for free, and the shipping is free. Go to natureb.com, use the code BIGO, and get that extra month for free. And by the way, it's great for everybody. It comes from Clean Green, New Zealand. It comes straight from Mother Nature, not made with anybody in some chemicals and some lab or anything like that. And it's great for the kids and great for the adults. natureb.com. What up, Big O? Mitchell to the Heat? I hope so. Well, we talked about that earlier on the show. I'm not giving up Bam for Mitchell. So if they want Bam, no dice. I'll give up Bam and Tyler for Durant, but I'm not giving up Bam for Mitchell because I think you need him in order to win the title. I'll give you Tyler, I'll give you Duncan, I'll give you a couple first rounders for Mitchell, but I'm not giving up Bam in that trade. Just saying. All right. Happy birthday to Harrison Ford. He's 80 years old. Big O, what are your top 5 favorite films with Harrison Ford? Blade Runner, of course. Star Wars, but I have to. So do I go Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, and what's the third one? Empire Strikes Back, right? Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and the first one, right? I'm not going to go with the latest ones where they kill him and all that, but I'll go those 3 and Blade Runner and Get Off My Plane, and that's it. I'm fine. Let's go. Although I do enjoy Fugitive. I think he does a really good job in Fugitive. I like that one. I mean, Harrison Ford he's a monster in many different ways. I saw him once when I was in LA. I was driving, and he was in this classic car. Took a picture of him, but I didn't say hi. Yeah, The Fugitive. Some of you are chiming in. He does a good job in The Fugitive. I got to give him props there. Maybe I'll go with The Fugitive over, what's it called? Get Off My Plane. What's that one called? Damn it. I forgot the name of that one, but whatever. So, The Patriot Games. There you go. Thank you, sir. Oh, no, it's Air Force One. The Patriot Games, he does a good job there. I'll tell you something about Patriot Games that most of you never thought of. Okay? And this goes for the men because the women don't fall in this category unless some of you may play for the home team. Then maybe you can chime in on the conversation. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. Ann Archer is in Patriot Games. That's his wife. Can I tell you something? Ann Archer has the sexiest voice any woman has ever had. How about that? Some of you guys never thought about ever. I give it to Ann Archer. I love her voice. She's got there's this little raspiness in her voice. You know what I mean? It's not to the extreme of the girl that was on, is it the OC, and then now she does the Chicago thing or something. What's her name? That she's got that rasp. She's a little extreme on the raspiness. Whereas Ann Archer has just a little tad, but then there's this, I don't know, there's like this sexiness to her voice. I got to say, Ann Archer, good looking woman and everything, but voice-wise, one of the hottest voices in the world, period. Now, some of you are going to go back and go, all right, I got to go find Ann Archer movies. Again, compartmentalize. She's a good-looking woman, but it's not about how fine or how good-looking she is, just the voice. Okay? Just the voice. Sexy. Oh, American Graffiti, yes. Yeah, but I'm going to like him more in Blade Runner than American Graffiti. I love American Graffiti. It's a classic movie. It's got 4 billion actors and a bunch of them that became absolute monsters. So yeah, no. The history of that movie is one that we could argue when we talk about movies that are loaded with stars. American Graffiti is one of the great movies of all time loaded with stars. Okay, so that I'll give it to you. But his acting there, I'm taking Air Force One, The Fugitive, all the Star Wars, everything, all of that stuff. I'm taking it over. Clear and Present Danger, good one too. Exactly. Indiana Jones. Oh God, I forgot the Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh God, the first two, he was awesome. There's too many to put in the top 5. See, now I forgot totally about Indiana Jones. What an idiot I am. You can't have a top 5 of Harrison Ford without Indiana Jones in there. Even the second one. That's a really good one. The Devil's Own. Very good. Is that the one with Brad Pitt, right? The Irish thing and all that? Is that the one, The Devil's Own? If I remember correctly? Not exactly sure. God, he's so good. So many movies. All right. We thank Sean Stanley, as always, getting it done. We appreciate him. We thank Matt Verderame. Craig Mish, as always, coming through. Cameron Wolfe also. We will see you guys tomorrow. It'll be our last day here in Vegas. And then we'll be back on Friday. I'm not sure if we do a show yet on Friday. It might be on a Saturday or something like that. We might push back some of that stuff to Saturday. So, you never know. But anyway, we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all. I love you all. Don't forget to please smash the like button. If you're listening to the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, please smash the like button. And also, subscribe to our other channel, Big O Show Cuts. We need to get that one to 1,000. We're going to have live programming out of that one too. So Big O Show Cuts, and subscribe to this one while you're at it. Get us to 13,000, man. We're almost there. So let's get over 13,000. Would be nice. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.
You've been listening to the Big O Radio Show's coverage of the Slomans.com NBA Summer League live from Las Vegas. We want to thank our great sponsors for helping us hit the road. Slomans.com, KSDTCPA.com, Hialeah Park Casino, Edge Energy Drink, Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, EJDConstruction.com, ALennyLocksmith.com, Perdomo Cigars, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, Welton Rayom Law Offices, and LiquorSplit.com. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Please subscribe to both our YouTube channels, The Big O Radio Show and Big O Radio Show Cuts. Thank you for supporting the most complete platform on the planet covering South Florida sports.